Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball is provided in part by Schultz Auto Group, the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, Rail Janaea Center for the Arts, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's American Rescue Plan Stabilization Grant. We got the details of this game between the Skunks and Muckdogs in just a little bit. But first, an exclusive interview between WRFA intern Jess Beeler and head coach of the Skunks, Jordan Brazil, which will be on 107.9 FM and also on the website, WRFALP.com. All right, so once again, that was one of the dynamic duo of the WRFA intern team, Jess Beeler, along with Jordan Brazil. Again, that was on 107.9 FM and will also be on the website, WRFALP.com. And Max, in general, I would say that interview was executed very well.
It definitely was, and, you know, when I interviewed Coach Powell, I didn't have questions lined up, and I don't think Jess did either, but you know what? Just asking the questions that come to your head, when they come to your head, honestly, works out well.
Yes, it does. And, excuse me, while we are waiting for the lineups to get commenced because there is some inner stuff going on with the organization, we got the starting lineups for both teams. We're going to start with Batavia because they are batting first. Leading off is the right fielder, number 16, Josh Leadham. Then the 2 spot, the center fielder, number 2, Gavin Schrader. And then the first baseman, number 35, he has homered here at Dietrich this season, Tyler Cano. Then the cleanup spot, the left fielder, number 10, Dan Burroway. And then 5 through 10 goes in this order as follows. Third baseman, number 5, Kyle Corso. The catcher, number 18, Levis Aguila Jr. The extra hitter, number 4, Trey Bacon. The second baseman, number 99, no, not Adam Banks, but Alex Torres. The DH, number 37, Abner Benitez, who's also a pitcher. And in the 10 spot, the shortstop, number 7, Caleb Rodriguez. And the starting pitcher for Batavia is number 21, Joe Tobia. And now for your Jamestown Tarp Skunks, leading it off will be the bunt connoisseur, the master of laying it down, the center fielder, number 5, Henry Martinez. Then in the 2 spot, whether going to Jellystone Park or hanging out with the Murderers Row, the left fielder, number 28, Yogi Hardigan. Then third, the first baseman, number 10, Pat Bigham. In the cleanup spot, the third baseman, down by it where the watermelons and the tropical fruits grow, Cody Bay, number 7. Then the 5 to 10 spots, it'll be Brandon Lane, the DH. Captain Johnny Campus, the Golden Gloved catcher. The shortstop, number 38, Julian Thompson, who's part of the Gold Glove brothers with Campus. Then Jordan King, who's become a trio of that in right field, doing some Superman-esque plays in the outfield. And then the extra hitter, Jack Davis, and the second baseman, Mark Tucker. And the starting pitcher for Jamestown is number 15, Richard King. And in his last start, he showed some promise but had some trouble with his control.
He definitely had some trouble. He worked well into the game without allowing a lot of runs, but then, the fielding, the defense behind him kind of started to fall off a little bit, and so did his control even more than what it did in the beginning. So all in all, it was a rather impressive start, but they couldn't really get the win, and that is honestly what I think started their 4 out of 5 loss skid.
And at home, it's been, I don't want to be a basher, but it's been an absolute nightmare. It's something even Stephen King could write about. Last 3 home games, Jamestown has been outscored 32-6. 2 of the games were a 12-2 loss, and also a shutout, 11-0. They lost 12-2 to Elmira, and the 11-0 loss was to Geneva. Their last home game, they lost 9-4 in 10 innings. And from looking at the standings here in the Western Division, if the postseason started now, Jamestown would be in. They are in the 3 spot, but they're only 1/10 of a percentage point ahead of the Auburn Double Days. Auburn has 1 win more, but they also have 1 loss less, and Jamestown also has a tie, which is proving critical. But if Jamestown wants to stick around for the postseason, they got to get hot and on a streak now.
And hate to correct your math, Norm, but this makes it even closer. It's actually 1,000th of a percent.
I was never good at math.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I would say I wasn't either, but my dad would kill me because he is a math teacher.
I remember you telling me that, but it looks like both teams are about to line up for the national anthem, so Skunks fans, will see you on the other side. Jamestown taking on Batavia right here in Dietrich, up next, right here on WRFA. All right, so once again, that was the national anthem, and that was actually performed tonight by Steven Lindberg.
Steven Lindberg, I've heard that name a couple times in my life.
Yep, and personally, I thought he sounded really good, but Jamestown, they got a couple of challenges ahead because bit of a roster shuffling. Dan Maglio no longer on the team, deciding to go home. Trey Zarowski, under some very unusual circumstances, was trying to retrieve his glove, ended up falling down, dislocating his ankle. So when it's a dislocation like that, your season's done.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
At least a
games
week.
left.
Yeah, at least a week.
It would all depend also on the severity of it. And also, Johnny Campus is playing a little dinged up, got hit in the face playing some recreational ball, but no bloody lip is going to stop him from playing behind the dish tonight.
Yeah, I got a bloody lip when I played baseball, and, let me tell you something. Just throw on a disposable mask so you don't get dirt in your mouth. You'll be fine.
Well, as Richard King is throwing his warm-up pitches, let's see how he's doing stat-wise so far this year. This will be his 4th start of the season. 5th game. He's only pitched 12 innings. He's allowed 10 hits, 11 runs, all which are earned, but his walk-to-strikeout ratio, it is nowhere near close to where it should be. 14 walks to 6 strikeouts. He's 0-1, and his ERA is an 8.25, so he's got a chance to turn the tide a little bit. I don't think he'll necessarily get the walk to strikeouts back to even, but if he can get a strong performance, he can at least get it closer.
And there's no team that he would that would be more difficult to lower that ERA than the Batavia Muckdogs, who have defeated these Tarp Skunks every single time they have played this year, and
yes, they have.
With quite a substantial run difference. So
yep, in the 5 games, Batavia's 5-0. They've outscored Jamestown 42-14. They're averaging more than 8 runs a game. Their average margin of wins more than 5 runs. The last time these two teams played each other was last week. Batavia shut them out at Batavia 4-0. As it's Josh Leadham leading off, pun entirely intended to start this game, right-handed hitter, as King throws his first pitch of the evening. And it's right at the outside corner for strike 1.
I'm a little bit dumbfounded here. I'm looking at his stat line. He's leading the team, not leading the team. He has a 337 average as he swings and misses, tries to hold up, but doesn't do so in time for an 0-2 count. But he has 19 stolen bases.
Wow. And that's why he's the leadoff guy. But another guy they need to keep an eye on also for Batavia, Levis Aguila. Even though he's a catcher, he's got 10 steals. That's good for second on the team from what I see, as the next pitch is chopped foul down the third base side and near the Skunks dugout, so the count stays 0-2. Last game, Jamestown was in their black jerseys with the white pants. This time, though, they're back to normal, the white on white. Again, though, I think the skunk tail would be cooler if it was on the seam of the pants. It would just look more appealing. But that's just an opinion, as the next pitch is outside for a ball.
And I know you were talking about how you weren't a big fan of white hoodies, but I did just get a white hoodie.
Yes, you did.
And I'm pretty happy about it.
Well, here comes the 1-2 by King. Swung on, and that's going to go in the left. It's going to drop for a base hit. So, Leadham gets the job done, leading it off to first. And now it'll be Gavin Schrader, the center fielder.
And expect at least a couple of different strategies to be played by the Muckdogs head coach over there at third base, whether it's a bunt to move him over to second, as Cody Bay is playing a little bit inside, or just your average run-of-the-mill steal as he's trying to hit that 20 mark.
Well, he doesn't have a big lead off the bag right now. Maybe it's just a probing tap as the next pitch is outside for a ball. From what I see, though, he looks like he's trying to test the waters a little bit, and then once maybe getting comfortable after a pitch or two, then extend the lead a little bit more.
When I stole bases, I always stole on the second or third pitch after I got a handle of the pitcher's timing and all that, as that ball was fouled off opposite field to left over the third baseline.
So count goes even at ones. Again, Leadham, it's not as big lead off the bag, but it is a decent one, and he's starting to tightrope it a little further.
He's going.
Here comes next pitch. Runner goes. Here comes the throw by Campus, and the tag not in time. Steal number 20 there for Josh Leadham. And Max, I might as well call you Tony Romo.
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious. He just kept inching his lead more and more and more, and I was just eyeing Richard King, just waiting for him to throw a pickoff attempt there, but he just didn't go for it. But shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yep, and that pitch was outside for a ball, so the count's 2-1. Next one is upstairs. Here's a throw to second. It deflects off King's glove, but it does get recovered by Thompson and goes back to King. Counts 3-1, and he's in trouble of having 2 runners on and nobody out to start the inning. And Cano is up next, and you and I both know he's got some serious pop in his bat.
Oh, he does. I might want to check his bat to see if he corked it, because that ball just flies when he hits the ball.
Well, here comes the 3-1 by King, and that's low, ball 4. So Schrader will take his little piano away from Lucy and head to first base without some peanuts, and now is Cano, who can not only hit the ball to a canoe, he can hit it to the gondola.
And as I'm looking at his stat line, he does only have that 1 home run that you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, but he does have a pretty sizable batting average, if I can find it again, 325.
Well, here's King's next pitch, and that one is inside for a ball.
You can tell a little bit early here that Richard King is starting to lose his control. He got 2 quick strikes on Leadham starting off the game, but he's quickly losing it here.
Here's the next pitch. Oh, it's up off Campus's glove, and it was a double steal. Both runners get safe, and with that, both are in scoring position, and if Cano can get a base hit, he could possibly drive home too.
2 ducks on the pond, 2 runners in scoring position. I'd be interested to see if Bazile just says, walk this guy. He's too much of a liability for a home run or at least a double. Load the bases, put a force at any base, and, take your lumps.
All the way it's looking, looks like King's going to try and work out of this. Here's the 2-0, and that's outside, ball 3. It looked like Cano was going to try and check swing, but he's able to abort. And this is starting to look like a replica of the last start from King where, again, he showed the potential that he has, but the control just got away from him after a while. But Cano's in a good spot, 3-0. This is the red light. Here's the pitch, and that's inside. So a 4-pitch walk for Cano. Bases are jammed, nobody out, and the left fielder, Dan Burraway, who is a right-hander, is coming up.
That last pitch to make it ball 4 looked pretty good to me, and Cano also believed it. He kind of shook his head as he was running to first because I think he thought it was a strike as well, but I don't even know. To be honest, I'm a little tired today.
Here's King's next pitch, and that hits the heart of the plate for strike 1. He had been in a bit of a slump before that one. 8 of his last 9 resulted in balls.
Burraway, he's got a 299 averages. Here's the 0-1, and it's fouled off towards Faulkner Street. And that 299 average is from 97 at-bats. And he is second on the Muckdogs in at-bats behind only Cano, who's standing on first base right now. And he also has a home run.
Here's King's 0-2, and that's inside, ball 1. Looked like he was going to get him in the elbow for a moment, but let's see if King can get an out here and avoid a 3rd straight walk. And the good news for him is, even though it's bases loaded and no out, all bases, including home, are force outs. As here's the next pitch by King. Fouled off, count will stay 1-2.
And here's something interesting about Burraway here. He leads the team in extra base hits with 11, 8 doubles, 2 triples, and 1 home run. But he also leads the Muckdogs in strikeouts as that ball is low and away for ball 2.
So counts even at 2s, and again, bases are jammed up and nobody out. Burraway with a chance to clear some bases, and I just got a correction also from one of the other broadcasters of Batavia. It's actually pronounced like the boat canoe, as in Tyler Canoe, as Burraway hits this one to the left, a base hit. 1 run will score, and the runners will go station to station. Oh, and it's a bad throw off of base glove. King tried getting there, and now Schrader's going to score. And now he's got another piano to put in his collection, except he doesn't have to bend down and play it. 2-0 right off the bat. And a base hit plus a wild throw. So that's going to be ruled a base hit and an error. And now it's going to be Kyle Corso, the third baseman.
And that one will probably be scored a single, and he'll have his 23rd RBI of the season. As I mentioned, he did just have 22 a few moments ago.
I think you may have gotten a better view of it than me, Max, but I do believe that was an E7. I think that was a throw from the outfield that went wild. But as King's next pitch goes in, this one's hit the center. Martinez under it and tagging up, heading home, and tips off Bigham's glove. And going into home safely is Canoe. So now it's 3 runs in the first inning, and at least he was able to finally get an out. And with that, it's going to be Levis Aguila, the catcher, up the bat.
And yes, it in fact was the left fielder's throw. Will Durrell, I believe it was. Actually, I don't. Who is in left today?
Yogi
Hardigan. He is coming back from an injury nowadays, so you never know. First pitch is outside. They're checking for the appeal from the bases coach, and they say no, he did not go around. Ball 1.
So here comes the next pitch by King, and that's outside, ball 2. Burway, the runner at third, just one out. Aguila, like Leadham, he's got speed. He's got 10 steals on the year. Here's the next pitch. This one's fouled off for a strike, Count goes 2-1. And I was talking to Jason about this during a broadcast where he and I did the game against Batavia earlier in the season. The way Aguila bats when he goes in the box, the way he holds his bat so high, it looks like Craig Counsell when he used to play for the Brewers, the Diamondbacks. He's got it up high in the air pretty good.
I was going to say someone else who played for the Yankees, Hideki Matsui. That's who I thought of when I saw him.
Well, here's the 2-1. That one's in the dirt, ball 3. So this is the green light here for Aguila.
And also, on that foul ball to make that 2-1, Pat DeMarco got hit in the hand. Here's the 3-1, and it is
ball 4.
Ball 4, a tad inside, I guess.
I thought that was going to be a full count, but runners at the corners, just one out, and now it's going to be Trey Bacon, the extra hitter, and looks like we were right all along. It is Tyler Cano.
Canoe, or I don't know.
Cano.
All right.
Yep, just go with what I was told earlier in the season. Again, sometimes I get a connection every now and again from a colleague that works for a certain team. But runners at the corners, one out. Here's the next pitch, and Bacon bunts, and it goes all the way back to the bleachers for strike 1.
That was not exactly good bunting mechanics there, as first of all, that ball went 150 feet in the wrong direction. But I don't think they're going to go for the safety squeeze again with a runner on third.
Well, here's the 0-1. Bacon hits this one over to right. King chasing it down, and he makes the catch, but this will be enough to tag up Burway. And Batavia right off the bat matching their run total they had the last time against Jamestown at their home respectively. 4-0, 4 runs on only 2 hits. And it's also been aided by 3 walks and a throwing error as well, as Alex Torres is up the bat.
That ball was slicing. I honestly, off the crack of the bat, I thought Jordan King wasn't going to be able to make it there, but evidently he did, and they scored a run on the sac fly as that ball is ripped towards the concourse area, and many children are running for the ball and jumping over fences. Hopefully they don't dislocate their ankle.
I've never dislocated an ankle, but I have had a rolled one and a sprained one. They do not tickle.
No, they do not.
Here's the 0-1 by King. This one's fouled off and going over the top of the press box of the concourse for strike 2. So King, 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Batavia, so far, even though they've just got 2 hits, they're taking advantage of the walks, and that's how they got 4 runs on the board to start the first inning. Aguila's got a good lead off the bag. He's taking off for second. Here's the pitch, and it's outside for a ball. And an easy stolen base for Aguila. Tab in with number 11 on the season.
Yeah, that I don't think they were really trying to fool him there. I think he just went. Richard King didn't really care if he got that strike. That would have ended the inning. So stolen base would have been a moot point. I don't think they really care about a runner on second. Here's the 1-2, and it is fouled off the backstop, and the ball boy for the Muckdogs is sprinting out to get that ball.
So again, King one strike away from getting out of this top of the first where he's had some trouble with the control, but the game's still young. Here's the next pitch. That one's fouled off, so Torres doing a good job making King work to get out of this inning.
He's battling back. He's hoping that at some point Richard King will accidentally groove something and give him something that he can easily hit. That is how he got his 270 batting average through his 37 at-bats with 10 hits, if you know how to do math.
Here's the 1-2, and that one's outside. Nice snag there by Campus to avoid Aguila heading to third.
Golden Glove, as you mentioned earlier, Norm.
Indeed. And his bat's starting to become gold, too. It's becoming so gold it'll make his glove platinum. But counts even at twos. Triple deuce on the board. 2 outs. King taking a look at Aguila. Here's the pitch. Wild pitch! And Aguila will trot over to third without a yell or a whimper. So 90 feet away from getting the 5th run of the inning for Batavia. And should Torres get walked, Abner Benitez is up next to DH. And like Cano, he can hit the ball pretty well off the bat.
And Torres is doing a really excellent job of making him work and battling back as he chops one over to Cody Bay, who fields it cleanly, throws on to first for the out, and that will end the inning.
Yes, it will.
4 runs on 2 hits and 1 error, and 1 runner left on base, Norm.
Yes, indeed, and in spite of all that, Batavia, they put 4 runs on the board, but don't fret, Skunks fans, because Jamestown's coming up to bat next, and Max, I'm going to shift it over to you.
And thank you very much, Norm. I'd like to remind you guys that support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks in 2022 is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, celebrating over 50 years of serving the community's automotive needs with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. At Schultz Auto Group, all repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for every automotive need, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. The next generation of auto care is already at Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks community baseball on your community radio station, WRFA-LP. For more information, call 1-866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com. And Norm?
Yes.
I gotta say, starting the bottom of the first inning down by 4 runs is not the position that you want to be.
No, it's not. And it's, again, the starting pitcher for Batavia is Joe Tobia. And the 3 batters you'll be facing to start off the game will be Martinez, Hardigan, and Bigham. The 1-2-3 due up as we're only in the bottom of the first inning.
Yes, and looking at Tobia's stats here, he has pitched in 5 games, started in 3 of them, and he has accrued 18 2/3 innings, allowing 25 hits, 10 runs, 7 of them being earned, walking 6, striking out 15, and he has a 1-0 record with 1 save and a 3.38 save ERA. My bad. 3.38.
So solid
ERA.
numbers.
Pretty good numbers. He doesn't have much of a sample size, being only played in 3 games, but still pretty good to keep it low as the throwdown was made, and I don't think he was ready for it.
Well, at least he was able to look and snag it with his glove. Otherwise, he would have probably been knocked into next week and waking up going, 2 cheeseburgers, a large fries, and a chocolate shake.
Oh, chocolate shake sounds good, man.
Martinez getting into the box, the leadoff hitter, the southpaw. He's known to lay down the bunts and get the bunt base hits, and one of 4 Skunks on the team with double-digit steals. So he gets on. Look out.
And Corso is aware of this. He is playing in on the grass, as many third basemen do, against Martinez.
And here's Tobia's first pitch of the game. It's fouled off. Press box people, everybody duck. And again, nobody was hurt. Strike 1.
I was hoping that one was going to come by at your face so I could catch it and be like that dad catching the ball, saving his son who was on his phone. Except you weren't on your phone, but it'd still be pretty cool.
Well, 0-1 count for Tobia. Here's the next pitch, and Martinez hits it. It deflects off Tobia's glove. Fielded. Oh, it's bobbled, but I do believe that's going to be ruled a single because there's no way the throw would have gotten there in time, and that's what's ruled a single.
Good hit, good hit. I was honestly completely ready to write down 1-3, a 1-3 put out, ground out to the pitcher, but Martinez legs it out, and honestly, I'd like to see him on the move here.
Well, he's also got Hardigan, too, who's got a dozen steals, good for second behind Cody Bay.
I'd like to mention that Yogi Hardigan changed his walk-up song.
Yes, he did.
To
Stacy's
mom.
By Fountains of Wayne. All I know is his last walk-up was even better. He had Big Mountains cover of Peter Gabriel's Baby, I Love Your Way.
What was Cody Bay's walk-up song at the start of the year? Do you remember?
I never quite caught it.
Oh, man.
But I know Henry's is right down the line by Jerry Rafferty.
Oh, yeah.
As Hardigan gets prepared to see the next pitch, Martinez has a decent lead off of the bag. Here's the next pitch, and that's upstairs for a ball. Count goes 1-1.
And Aguila watched Martinez back to first base as he was taking a pretty long lead, almost worried about the delayed steal, it seemed like.
Counts even at ones, nobody out. Jamestown already getting a guy on base to start the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch, runner goes, and just about, I'd say roughly under a foot from us in the press box. It hits the nylon netting of the grandstands for strike 2. Count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I definitely could have caught that one, Norm. I think that one, maybe, I don't know. I got long arms. I am tall.
So count 1-2. Martinez on first. He's got a decent lead off the bag. Here's the pitch, and that's inside. Count goes even at 2s.
Hardigan is showing off how he leads the team in his batting average. Only fighting off competitive pitches and only hitting easy pitches to swing at. So always getting on base.
And here's the 2-2 by Tobia. This one's going to go foul. Near the bleachers, count stays even at 2s. So Hardigan making Tobia work to get an out here. Jamestown looking to respond from the 4-run first inning that Batavia put up. And even though they just got 2 hits, there was also aiding of 3 walks in the first inning, as well as a throwing error for any listeners or viewers that are just tuning in.
I'm going to say Martinez is going to be on the move here.
Here's a 2-2. That's in the dirt. Ball 3. Count goes full.
Hate to say it, Norm, but I was wrong. Maybe I need to brush off my crystal ball. Can't really do much
Polish
fortune.
off the dust?
Yeah, can't really do much fortune telling anymore.
Well, even the best fortune tellers are wrong from time to time.
Yeah.
Full count, nobody out. Here comes Tobia's payoff pitch. This one's fouled off, going over the top of the press box, and the count, again, will stay full. We might as well cue the theme of the good, the bad, and the ugly, because this is turning into a duel.
This definitely is. The wedding bride is coming on soon, or I don't know, man. This is what people like. This is worth the price of admission right here.
Count full. Tobia looking for that right pitch, shaking off a couple of signs from Aguila as Hardigan calls time.
They were in a staring match and staring contest, and Yogi Hardigan was starting to lose. I think he had to blink.
Well, it was turning into a Mexican standoff for the 1,000-yard stare. Here's another payoff, and this is going to go through into right field, a base hit. Martinez ignoring the red light, going for third. Here's the throw, and in safely is Martinez. Fielded by Leadham, a good throw over to Corso, but Martinez is safe. Back-to-back singles to start the inning for Jamestown. Runners at the corners, nobody out, and Pat Bigham, the newest skunk, up the bat.
And that was a beautiful at-bat by Yogi Hardigan, just fighting off everything and then pulling a fastball on the inside right down the line, or not down the line, but in between the gap. First baseman's covering first, and second baseman's in double play depth, so that's a giant gaping hole over there on the right side of the infield. He just put it there perfectly.
I wouldn't be shocked if Hardigan tries to steal to eliminate the double play. But here's the next pitch by Tobia, and it's outside for a ball.
As I mentioned a little bit earlier, Hardigan is working off an injury as he what did he hurt? Do you remember?
I wasn't told anything about Hardigan being injured, but
he was off, he was on the bench for quite a while, so maybe he just needed a break as that ball was a little bit high for ball 2.
Jamestown, they're nearing a similar situation that Batavia was in the first inning, which was bases loaded with nobody out. Bigham, the right-hander, looking to cut into the deficit and at least get a run on the board here to start it. Here's the pitch, and that one hits the outside corner. Count goes 2-1.
With a 2-1 count, you might see a hit and run here with a solid hitter at the plate and a solid runner at first, but you never really want to risk anything with a runner on third and no outs.
2-1 count, next pitch on the way, and that one hits the outside corner for strike 2. So sometimes just standing and watching them pass gets you into a hole, but for Bigham, it's 2-2.
And Tobia is battling back here. He just made the count even with 2s, and the payoff pitch is coming up soon.
So far, 2 hits to start the inning for Jamestown. Here's the pitch. Bigham fouls it off. It's going to go over the top of the lights and into the concourse. Count stays even at 2s.
I don't know if it's because this guy has some nasty stuff on the mound or if Brazil has just changed up their game plan, but they're making him work out there. That's 2 straight at-bats that took more than 6 pitches.
I wouldn't be shocked if Toby's counts around 20.
I wouldn't be either.
Here's the 2-2. Runners are going. It's going to be a grounder over to short. Fielded cleanly. Runner will score. Bigham grounds out, but he does drive in an RBI. Martinez scores a run. Score 4-1. Jamestown's on the board already with one more run than they had the last time they played versus Batavia. As now up is the cleanup man, Cody Bay.
Definitely a good thing Hardigan was on the move there towards second. That would have been a tailor-made double play, 6-4-3, but Hardigan just too fast as he got the steal sign, and Bigham drove in the Tarp Skunks' first run of the ballgame.
And that's a start. Runner on second. That is Hardigan. One out. 4-1 now the score as Jamestown does respond with a run at least. Here's the next pitch by Tobia. Bay swings, and it's going to go into shallow right. Leadham going under it, makes the catch, and Hardigan will stay put at second. And now up's going to be the DH, Brandon Lane.
The throw into third base by Torres and right, or not Torres, Leadham out there and right, was a little bit off target. So if Martinez were to have gone, he might have made it in time, but you never want to assume someone's going to throw and miss. You always want to assume that he's just got a cannon out there in right field.
2 outs. Tobia's next pitch on the way, and off speed hitting the outside corner for strike 1.
Very good pitch, just making it a backdoor breaking ball. Looked like it was going to be a little bit low, but caught enough of the zone for a strike.
Tobia getting the sign from Aguila. Here comes the 0-1. Outside corner, strike 2.
Brandon Lane is going to have to battle back here with an 0-2 count. Got a runner in scoring position, so anything in the outfield could cut that deficit in half from what it started at the start of the inning.
Yep, and anything near the zone, swing at it, as that one is just outside for a ball. What didn't miss by much, but Lane playing dangerously, letting that one pass him by.
Certainly seems like this umpire has a tall strike zone as opposed to a wide strike zone. He doesn't like the inside and outside corners for strikes, but a little high, a little low. As long as it's consistent, I'm happy with it.
Here's the 1-2. That's in the dirt. Count goes even. So we're seeing a little deja vu here. Both Tobia and King both had high pitch counts in the first inning, and it already looks like there's somebody warming up in the bullpen already for Jamestown.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Brazil just has him out there stretching and tossing in case the second inning goes somewhat the same way as Lane takes a ball low and outside to make the count full.
And should Lane get walked, Campus is up next. He is on deck right now. And Campus, he's got the only home run of the season for the Skunks. So, again, it's a chance to possibly tie the game should Lane get on. Here's the payoff. And this is going to be a chopper. Fielded cleanly there by Rodriguez. Throws it to first in time. Jamestown able to inch away, getting a 1-run in the inning. They're still behind, though, 4-1, but we'll be right back for the second inning and more right here on WRFA. And we're about to start the top of the second inning of Skunks baseball as Jamestown, they're behind right now against Batavia, 4-1. Richard King going to get another inning of work as he'll be dealing with Benitez, Rodriguez, and then back to the top with Leadham, facing 8 batters in the first inning. And hopefully King can get the control back in his way because already there are a couple pitchers warming up in the bullpen for the Skunks.
And I think Jason stole his binoculars back from me. Actually, no, he's got them here.
He repoed them.
I'm gonna grab them real quick. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. So Benitez up to bat, the southpaw hitter, as King looking to get it back together into his favor. Score 4-1, both teams with 2 hits. Here's King's first pitch to start the second inning, and it's outside, ball 1.
Especially at the bottom of the order, Benitez he's probably just going to be taking all the way until he gets a strike. Best way to, get into the mood as he takes another ball inside as opposed to outside for ball 2. And
the beloved binoculars.
I got my binoculars back.
I do see Nathan Smith is in the bullpen, number 23, as Benitez hits one through the gap in the center for a base hit. So, second consecutive inning that Batavia leads the inning with a single, and now we got Caleb Rodriguez, the shortstop.
And, I'm not going to lie, Norm. I was a little scared Richard King was going to catch that in the knee.
Or pull Zach McAllister and hacky sack it to himself.
Well, that would be cool. But not too many people are that coordinated.
Okay, so I did find out from one of my colleagues from Batavia, Tyler Cano, it is pronounced canoe like the boat. So that is a correction, so we do apologize for any mistake on that as Rodriguez fouls the pitch off for strike 1.
All right. Leaning outside the press box, I see a light pole. I can't really make out a number because the light pole is in, but it does look like Nathan Smith, as you said. He's just stretching and tossing out there.
Next pitch on the way. It's going to be a bunt. Goes right to King. And here's a throw to Bigham. That's in time. However, Benitez does go 90 feet. And with that, we're back to the top of the order with Josh Leadham. He singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the top of the first.
Sacrifice bunts are always good, especially when it gives you one of your strongest hitters a runner in scoring position.
So Leadham looking for his second hit of the game.
Looking to drive it to the outfield, whether it's in left field like last time or even in right field.
Next pitch is outside for ball 1. King getting the sign from campus. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. And this one's going to get hit into a gap at center, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Benitez getting waved home. And the throw will just be cut off by Tucker. And the lead back up to 4 runs for Batavia, 5-1. And so far, just like they have throughout the season, they have been putting up the runs on Jamestown. They're continuing to be that flaming appendix inside of the Skunks as we got a meeting of the minds, the conference on the mound, as coach of the pitching staff, Barry Powell, comes in. Again, there has been bullpen activity. It was Nathan Smith warming up and tossing, and I do wonder if this is going to be it.
And that pitch,
yes, it is.
That pitch hit by Leadham. Sorry to cut you off,
You're
but
good.
That pitch hit by Leadham was well executed. Just
Yes, it was.
almost like it was thrown out there to center field to drive in the runner home as
We got a pitcher change. So right away, King's night is going to be finished after 1 1/3 innings. So not a strong showing by King as, again, it's going to be Nathan Smith pitching now for Jamestown. We haven't seen him here in Dietrich in a while throwing pitches, but when we did in the earlier part, it was mainly for relief purposes. And Max, I do know you got a stat line on him.
I do have to find his name. It's actually the last name, the last alphabetical name on the Tarp Skunks roster for pitchers, so it's actually pretty easy. But he has pitched in 5 games, all of them in relief. Total innings pitched is 12 1/3, allowing 6 hits and only 3 runs, 13 walks and 7 strikeouts, with 1 win and 1 save at a very low ERA of 2.19.
So under 3 for relief is always the target goal, I would say. As Smith will throw some warm-up pitches, and right off the bat, 5 runs on 4 hits for Batavia, and it wasn't just the hits that helped them get the runs. There was also 3 walks issued, and there was also 1 error, but the fielding for Jamestown has been very well besides that.
Yeah, definitely. That one throw was just a little bit wide, and it kind of just snowballed when Richard King kind of stumbled when he was retrieving the ball. In fact, it wouldn't have even been an error if he didn't stumble because neither of the runners would have advanced. But unfortunately, he did fall. Give it a nice little 10 out of 10 from the judges as he made it a nice somersault. And that's the only error of the game so far.
Yeah, Jamestown's errors over the last several games, they have begun to crawl down a little bit. There was a 2-game stretch of home games where they had 10 total. And in one of the games, which was against this Batavia team, their second 12-6 loss versus them, there were 6 errors.
Now, it seems like he's taking a long amount, like a lot of warm-up pitches, so that might mean actually that Richard King is hurt. Because if you come in from the bullpen after an injured pitcher, you can take as many warm-up pitches as you want.
Well, I did see the umpire throw 2 fingers to Smith, so this one right here will be his last one.
Maybe. Or, yeah, it is, but you never know. Normally, you're only allowed 8 or 10, depending on the umpire.
I do know, because a lot of the Skunk players like to play MLB The Show. If you're a pitcher on the road to the show, it's always 8.
Yeah, but you only really need 4 before you're warm.
So right now it's going to be Gavin Schrader up the bat. He walked and scored a run in the first.
Yeah, no official at bat, but, you know, he does have that run as well as a stolen base.
Smith taking a look at first. Here's his first pitch of the game, and that's low, ball 1.
I'd like to see if I can predict Leadham stealing again.
If he does, he'll have a blackjack on the season.
I'm just watching. Oh, he's going. Yeah.
Here's the pitch, and he's got it beat. Just from looking at it, his jump was perfect, and there was no way the throw would have been there in time.
that's just ridiculous speed there by Leadham, as that pitch was a strike. At least that's what it says on the board.
So 1-1 count, 1 out. The triple sticks on the board as Smith gets a sign from Campus. And here's his next pitch. And this one's hit by Schrader over to first. Bigham's going to tag the bag himself. However, Leadham does advance 90 feet to third. And with that, it's going to be Tyler Canoe, who also walked and scored a run in the first.
And that was just a foot race by Bigham and Schrader. I saw that, when he looked up and saw Schrader running towards first, he was like, oh, no, I got to get a move on. And he just bolted as fast as he can. And a couple times I've had to dive onto first base after receiving a ground ball. Still got the out, though. Did dislocate my shoulder once in the process, but I was all right.
Next pitch by Smith is high for a ball.
Canoe, my bad.
No, you're good. You're
good.
We just found it out.
Canoe, like Schrader, walked and scored a run.
Well, here's Smith's next pitch, and Canoe hits it over to short. Fielded cleanly by Thompson. There's a throw to Bigham, and it's in time. So Smith able to lessen the damage to end the top of the second inning. Jamestown back up the bat in just a moment. But first, Max, I'm going to let you do your thing.
Hey, thank you very much. I'd like to remind you guys that support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball for the 2022 season is brought to you in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses while also promoting the retention and expansion of existing businesses. And it offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low-interest loans, and bond financing, all of which enhances the opportunities for job creation and retention by our businesses. The Chautauqua County IDA is a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900 or visit ccida.com. And I gotta say, Norm, 1 run is better to give up than 4.
Indeed, and Smith, even though he had a little consistency trouble to begin, he was able to get out of it, and I do think he's going to be in it for a long haul. I would say till about maybe the 6th inning.
Yeah, probably. He does have pretty decent stamina for being a relief pitcher, and he does. I was going to mention it, but it was a little late in his warm-up routine, but he is one of 2 active Tarp Skunks players to have a save, and the other one is Bryce Jackson.
Oh, not Ryan Rafalski?
I thought he was done for the season as well. Okay, never mind.
I know Rafalski has 2. Jackson has 1.
And then the last one is Nathan Smith, and Eric Krause has 5. But once again, he is done for the season. He hit his inning limit given to him by the Wagner head coach.
Yep, and that was the same case for Eli Shedd as well.
Yes, and I have a friend who is best friends with Eli Shedd. I was a little sad because I had to tell her that he was done.
First pitch, though, to Campus was fouled off for a strike. It's going to be Campus, Thompson, and King due up for the Skunks. And also, Rafalski did start the last home game for Jamestown as well in their loss versus Niagara, as the next pitch was low for a ball. Yeah, Rafalski did really well. He had 5 solid innings. He only allowed 2 runs, struck out 4.
It's a quality start right there.
Unfortunately, though, he got the no decision.
That's okay.
Well, here's the 1-1 and fouled off by Campus for strike 2.
And that almost went in the same exact window as the time he hit the picture frame. And I was just watching that, trying to make it go in like my 12-foot putt on hole 8 at the Casadega Country Club.
Here's the 1-2. Campus swings and misses for strike 3. Again, Campus, he's not shy to swing the bat. If it's a pitch he likes, he's going to take a swing. But unfortunately, he gets the can of Perrier Breeze as Julian Thompson, the shortstop, is up. And he had a strong game last home game. He drove in an RBI on a double, excuse me. But again, he's more known for his glove.
You might as well call that swing boiling water because he just straight up missed.
And that one's just like Campus's last swing for a strike. as Thompson swung and missed for strike one. So I guess they're going with no pasta.
Did you get that cheesy joke that I said? No, cheesy pasta. Huh.
Well, here's the 0-1 by Tobia, and it's outside for a ball.
From what it looks like right now is that the top of the first inning and the second inning have been just vastly different so far. The first inning was just long at bats as this pitch swung on a miss for strike two, and Campus and Thompson there at bats seem to be going a little bit quicker than the 8, 9, 10 pitch at bats in the first inning.
Yeah, Thompson, like Campus, he's not scared to swing. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tobia, and those are the first 2 strikeouts by either team in this game thus far. And with Jordan King coming up to bat, Tobia has an opportunity to get the first 1, 2, 3 inning by either team.
Definitely would be good for the momentum for the Muckdogs. Definitely would be bad for the momentum for the Tarp Skunks.
And Jordan King, he has been coming very alive in right field.
And he also has been improving at the dish as well. He has a .219 average, but he has 4 extra base hits as he takes the first pitch that looked a little bit outside to me, but was called a strike.
King, as he's done throughout the season, crowding that plate a little bit. Here's the next pitch, outside corner, strike 2.
That pitch was the same exact spot as the last pitch. I would go up and in if I were Tobia.
He's got a chance to strike out the side if he can get King. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tobia strikes out the side, gets a 1, 2, 3 inning. 2 innings concluded here at Dietrich. Jamestown behind 5-1 over Batavia. But we'll be right back for the 3rd inning right here on WRFA. And we're about to momentarily start the 3rd inning of this matchup between your Jamestown Tarp Skunks and the Batavia Muckdogs. And for anybody listening to the radio broadcast during the break, that interview was with Patrick DeMarco, and with it being at the time being in the transfer portal, for any fans that do not know, a couple of weeks ago he did commit to another school. He's going to be playing for the Ohio University Bobcats.
Yeah, I remember when I was a little kid, I played NCAA, I believe it would have been 09 at that point. I was like, oh man, I always wanted to be an Ohio, I wanted to be a Buckeye. And way back when, they didn't have the logos next to the teams that you get to pick.
Yeah.
So I just went to Ohio State, and I was like, wait, why are my uniforms green?
That's because it's Ohio University, not Ohio State.
Yeah, I know. I was a little sad back then, but that's okay.
But we got the middle lineup coming up. It's going to be Burraway, Corzo, and Aguila. Burraway hit a single, and he was able to advance to second on an E7. However, he was left behind at third to end the first.
And it looks like he did drive home that first run, and he did drive home the second run too, but that didn't get credited to him as it was because of an error.
Yep, and the first pitch hit the outside corner for strike one. Here comes Smith's next one. Burroway chops it foul. Or I beg your pardon, it went fair. Here's the throw, and he's called safe. Foot off the bag. Great effort, though, by Bigham to try to apply the tag, but the throw was high. And from my view, it looked like he was going to go foul, but Bay, E for effort, snagging that ball, but couldn't get it over the first in time.
It looked like...
And that will be ruled a single.
Yeah, it looked like he probably should have just let the ball roll foul. Burway, he's got some wheels to him. I mean, even though he's a cleanup hitter, as the first pitch is inside for ball one.
So Corzo, the third baseman, he's up. He did fly out to center. However, in that at-bat, he did drive in an RBI.
Sacrifice fly and an RBI, Norm. No complaints there.
You got the job done as the next pitch is outside for a ball. Count goes 2-2. And with that base hit, though, the second hit of the game for Burroway, they're able now to equal their hits to their runs, as there was a time where they had 4 runs on 2 hits, but now they're an even 5-5. Here's Smith's next pitch, and it's outside, ball 3.
It's always deflating if you only allow 2 hits and 5 runs, because that just means that your pitching is just out of control.
It could also be errors, too, as the 3-0's on the way, and outside, ball 4, Corzo getting walked on 4 pitches, and now it'll be Levis Aguila, who got walked as well in the first, and he also stole a base.
And that was his 11th steal of the season so far. Good for him, especially as a catcher. You don't really think of them to be base stealers that much.
Here's Smith's next pitch, and that's outside, ball 1. 5 consecutive balls thrown by Smith.
That's not a stat you want to be leading in, Norm.
As long as it's just balls and pitches and not total walks, I'm sure it'd be happily taken. Here's the 1-0. This one popped up, and we're going to have a bit of a campfire. Smith caught for it, but Bay tells him to back off, makes the catch, pop out the third for the first out. And now it's going to be Trey Bacon, who flew out the right, but also drove in an RBI.
And the infield fly rule was, in fact, called by the home plate umpire. So even if the ball were to fall, which with how many people were calling for it, definitely could have happened, it wouldn't have mattered.
5-1 the score as Smith prepares to throw his next pitch. Mishandled for a moment by Campus, but he's able to recover, and it's a ball, ball 1.
I have a friend like the extra hitter for the Muckdogs. His last name is Bacon.
Here's the 1-0. Bacon pops this one up, and it looks like it's going to stay in play. Campus under it, makes the catch, and Max, I'm sorry, it was not Mike Rexman that was up the bat, and also that one did not have the distance.
Yeah, no, it did not have the distance. In fact, it went backwards. Not exactly something that you want to do when you're batting, unless it's, you know, a 20-pitch at bat that you're just battling over and over, and you know, at that point, even if you strike out, you'd be happy with that at bat.
So Smith 1 out away from getting out of this jam and getting a 0 on Batavia's scoreboard for the first time in this game. But the first pitch was low for a ball, and Torres, he grounded out 5-3, and that's how the 4-run first inning came to a conclusion.
Definitely.
1-0 by Smith, and that's inside. A little bit of music down on the knees, 2-0.
A little bit scary there, to be honest, especially if you are as fast as Torres is. Never want to harm your money makers.
Smith checking second. Here's the throw. And this is going to drop into right for a base hit. And getting waved home is going to be Burroway. And another run scores for Batavia, making it 6-1. 6 runs on 6 hits. And now we've got Abner Benitez, the DH, up the bat. We've got runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Runners at the corners. A speed threat at first base and, a scoring threat at third, as they always are. any hit will do to drive in a run.
And so far in these first 3 innings, Jamestown pitching has seen at least 5 batters. So there's yet to be a 1-2-3 inning as Benitez swings and misses for strike 1. He did hit a single and score a run in the 2nd inning.
He led off the 2nd inning as well.
Smith getting the sign. Here's the next pitch, and that's in the dirt, but Campus able to block it. And is able to get it back to Smith. Count 1-1 with 2 outs. Benitez gets a base hit. It'll be run number 7 on the game already for the Muckdogs. 2 2/3 innings in, they already have 6 hits. Here's Smith's next pitch, and that's inside, but a nice catch by Campus. Here's the throw to first, and in time is Torres. So count goes 2-1.
I admire Johnny Campus for trying to get him out. Unfortunately, it wasn't exactly on the money. When you're trying to backpick someone at first base, you want to put it on the base so they can just kind of sweep around, especially as a right-handed first baseman. But
runner's going. Here's a throw by Campus to second, and a fake throw to home. The run, I believe,
the run does score, Norm.
Because the run occurred before the 3rd out, the run will count. So 2 runs in the 3rd for Batavia. 7-1 to score, and again, it's that case of because Corso hit home plate before the 3rd out occurred, the run counts. So 7-1, Max, and I'm going to shift it back to you.
Thank you, Norm. I'd like to remind you guys that support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Reg Linnaeus Center for the Arts. Reg Linnaeus Center for the Arts, located in the heart of downtown Jamestown at 116 East 3rd Street, is the broadcast license holder of WRFA-LP. More than just a theater, the Reg offers comprehensive programming that inspires, educates, and empowers the community. Reg Linnaeus also offers rental of its facilities to the public, providing spaces for small groups or hundreds of attendees. Rental arrangements can be made for parties, receptions, meetings, retreats, and live concerts and performances. The popular Movies at the Reg series is also available twice a week, offering a safe and comfortable environment for patrons to watch a wide variety of films, with food and beverages also available. For more information, visit reglinnaeus.com or call 716-664-2465. And Norm, before we start talking about the bottom of the 3rd, sorry, I just kicked you with all my might. I would like to mention that the only reason the run counts is because the runner at first was not forced to go to second. So let's say if you got Speedy Gonzalez at 3rd base, and with 2 down, and the guy bunts, and the guy on 3rd touches the plate before the out at first, that play still won't, or the run still won't count because the runner's obviously forced to go to first.
Well, first pitch to Davis would hit the outside corner for strike 1. It's Davis, Tucker, then back to Martinez to start the bottom of the 3rd, and Jamestown 6-run hole here, 7-1. Here's the next pitch, and that's low, ball 1.
Jack Davis seems to be getting a break from the field now that they have both Bigham and Kane McGee on the team, kind of tag teaming first base as he hits the ball through the gap in right field. And the first hit of the game for Davis. Single to first base into the right field.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And Jamestown, they need to get on a rally here because if Batavia keeps on firing on the cylinders like they have been, we may be in danger of seeing another mercy rule. And we've seen 4 of those here in Dietrich. 2 were wins by Jamestown, but 2 were also losses. As Mark Tucker, a switch hitter, but as he usually does, batting on the left side. Davis has a good lead off of first base. Tobia gets a sign. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, strike 1.
And if you didn't catch the interview at the top of the broadcast between Jess Beeler and head coach of the Tarp Skunks, Jordan Bazil, he mentioned that he likes, as the pickoff move to first base is not in time, he likes how fast the entire team of the Tarp Skunks, like how fast everyone is on the Tarp Skunks, and how he can use that to his advantage. And Jack Davis, like many others, is an unlikely speed threat as a first baseman and a catcher, as that ball was low and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, and again, that interview as well as yours with pitching coach Barry Powell, they're both on the radio website, WRFALP.com, as the next pitch by Toby is on the way. Tucker hits a foul, and it almost got big on him. He's able to duck down without getting cracked in the head. Count goes 1-2.
It would have been funny if it got Pat DeMarco on his hand again, as that happened in the top of the first inning.
The way that looked, he was looking like Wile E. Coyote staring at that train while Roadrunner runs away, and his eyes just go small. 1-2 pitch on the way.
Heart just drops, you know.
Tucker swings, goes foul, and Brazil was trying to barehand it, but it smokes into the bleacher area. Count stays 1-2, and 1 run on 3 hits right now for Jamestown. For Batavia, 7 runs on only 6 hits.
And also, one of the runs was facilitated by an error by Yogi Hardigan, a throwing error into the infield as he takes 1 for ball 2, evening the count.
So count even at 2s. Davis, the runner on first. Again, Jamestown, they need to get something going. Even though it's just the 3rd inning, they are in a 6-run hole. Tobia getting the sign he wants from Aguila. Here's the payoff. That's high and inside, ball 3. So 1 ball away from issuing his first walk of the game.
I mentioned that Jack Davis has some speed to him. He's got 6 stolen bases so far. With a full count, I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the move here.
He's got a good lead off of the bag, so it is possible. Here's the payoff, and that looked like it may have hit him, but even so, it's going to be ball 4. Runners on first and second, nobody out, and with a great situation here, Henry Martinez up the bat. He led it off in the bottom of the first with a single, and he also has scored the team's only run of the game thus far, as we will have a conference on the mound for Batavia, and Martinez looking to keep the fireworks going for Jamestown. Again, they are in a 7-1 hole right now, and only 6 hits for Batavia, 3 for Jamestown, and again, they got to get something going. Again, in the PGCBL standings in the Western Division, Jamestown is in 3rd right now, but it is a paper-thin margin. This is more paper-thin than the election votes between George Bush and Al Gore. This is how close this is. Jamestown and Auburn. Jamestown's win percentage is .515. Auburn's is .514. So every game counts from here on out, and if Jamestown wants to get in the postseason, they need to get their heads out of the quicksand.
And this is a very important game, as everyone in this league is so close. In fact, right behind the Doubledays is the Geneva Red Wings, who are exactly 500. So just very competitive league that the Tarp Skunks are in right now.
It's more competitive than the Eastern Division, as Martinez is looking to bunt and aborts it as the pitch was outside for a ball. And yeah, speaking of that, because comparing it, in the Eastern Division, Amsterdam, the Mohawks, they're 32-4 on the season, and they've got a comfortable lead over the second-place Socrates Stallions. That is just mind-blowing.
Almost like the Yankees so far this year. They're like 20 games ahead.
Next pitch, it's a wild pitch, and runners will advance 90 feet. 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out, and a good base hit can nip at the deficit a little bit, nibble by nibble.
And I would like to mention that, you know, on Mark Tucker's on the 4th ball for Mark Tucker, you mentioned that you think it might have hit him. Mark Tucker actually leads the team in hit by pitches with 10. It might be 11 now, but I don't know.
I'm not sure either. I ruled it as a walk, so.
Yeah, me too. So.
But count right now is 2-0. Here's Tobia's next pitch. Martinez swings. That's going into center. Will that be enough to tag up Davis? He's going to go home. No, he holds off. Goes back to third. The throw in center field by Schrader, it was just too good.
And I can see Martinez looking at Davis over there. He's a little bit upset. Just wasted an at-bat and kind of shrugged his shoulders. So happened to me one too many times when I played. You know, hit a nice fly ball to the outfield, but
indeed,
Runner on third, never tagged up. A little sad. Davis looked like he thought he could have made it, but put on the brakes. With one down, an all-seeing ground ball through the infield can score him. A wild pitch, an error.
Right. I'm sure Hardigan though wants a base hit, and from looking at this, from taking a gander on the PGCBL, as Hardigan hits this one over the first, and he'll just tag the bag, so sacrificing a run in exchange for an out. So Hardigan gets the job done. He drives home Davis, making it 7-2. As now it'll be Pat Bigham, the first baseman. So from talking about Amsterdam being 32-4 right now, they're on a 12-game winning streak, and the second-place team, Socrates, are 11.5 games behind. So this is a quantum leap compared to the Western Division. That
is a lot of games behind, especially in this league. I would kill for a lead in the league like that, as that ball is grounded up the middle, tipped off the glove, and thrown onto first by the second baseman for the third out of the inning.
In spite of that, though, Jamestown, they do get a run on the board, making the score 7-2 after 3. But we'll be right back for more Skunks action right here on WRFA.
Can I take my binoculars for a second?
Of course.
I saw a yellow flicker I wanted to get a closer look at.
It's starting to get a little fun.
And we're about to start the fourth inning between your Jamestown Skunk. All right, take two on that as we're about to start the top of the fourth inning between your Jamestown Skunks and the Batavia Muckdogs right here on WRFA, with the Batavia up 7-2, as we will have Benitez, Rodriguez, and Leadham starting it off in the fourth for the Muckdogs. And coincidentally, as well as a little bit of irony, Benitez led off the second inning, got a single, scored a run.
And he did also technically end the last inning, but after a caught stealing that was a designed ruse to bring in a run, and as he rips one to right field for a base hit, Jordan King fields the ball and tosses it into Tucker. For Benitez's second hit of the game, both of them being singles. But the stolen base, he was designed to get out, but he was trying to get into a rundown to score the run from third.
In every inning so far that Batavia's led off, they've gotten a base hit to start it in each inning so far.
And they've also scored at least one run in each inning as well.
Next pitch by Smith was outside for a ball, and Rodriguez, he had a sac bunt in the second inning, and it resulted in a 1-3 ground out. However, it was to advance runners in the scoring position. 1-0 pitch on the way, outside, ball two.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of weird plays here with a 2-0 count, runner on first.
2-0 on the way. That's outside, ball 3.
And as I said, there was a weird play. Benitez seemed to try and draw a throw from Johnny Campus. Went into a dead sprint for a second and then put on the brakes immediately. A little weird.
So count 3-0. Here's the next pitch, and that hits the outside corner. Strike 1, so 3-1 count, no 4-pitch walk.
And Rodriguez is in the best hitters count of the game. 3-1 count, green light on everyone. Just try and hit the ball as hard as you can.
Here's the pitch, and Rodriguez hits it pretty well to left. And Hardigan with a diving catch for the first out. Shades of shoeless Joe Jackson with that catch, as now it's going to be back to the top of the lineup with Josh Leadham, who has been torching Jamestown so far. 2 singles, 2 steals, and 1 RBI.
And that was a very, very good display of why Yogi Hardigan is on the All-Star ballot. Very, very good Gold Glove caliber play there for him.
Next pitch by Smith is up high for ball 1. So far, Batavia, it's a 7-7, 7 runs, 7 hits. And a couple pitchers looks like they're getting ready to warm up. One of them I do see is Travis Perry playing a little catch as the next pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. And I do also see Ian Korn walking in the bullpen as well. So it could be a possibility of stretching out. 1-1 count, 1 out. Here comes the next pitch. And this is going to be a chopper foul to the Skunk dugout for strike 2.
Did Ian Korn pitch on Wednesday?
He did not.
He is, as well as Zarowski, battling back from a ankle injury. He rolled his ankle on his way out to the bus one day, and I wasn't sure if he came back already or if today would be the first day, as the next pitch to lead him was high for ball 2.
Well, the good news is the way he walks around from what we've seen, it doesn't seem to be a fractured ankle. And plus, in one of the games, he didn't have the crutches. And I talked to him actually about that after a game, or that one, and he's like, yeah, the medic wouldn't let me have him. As this is a hot shot to Bay. 5, 4, and that's it. So able to get 1 out. So Bay in the hot corner going halfway around the horn to Tucker. So forced out at second, 2 outs, and now it's going to be Gavin Schrader.
Good display of another display of why he is also on the All-Star ballot. A nice diving stop to keep the ball from going into the outfield for a possible extra base hit, and got the runner out at second base as there's a pickoff attempt. Just trying to keep an eye on Leadham out here. He is terrorizing them on the base paths with 2 stolen bases. Actually, 3 stolen bases so far.
So here comes the next pitch by Smith. Hits the inside corner for strike 1. So far in his 2 at-bats, Schrader has walked, scored a run, but in his official one, he grounded out to first.
And he, like Leadham, also has a stolen base.
That was off the double steal. Next pitch on the way by Smith, and skips in the dirt, but Campus does make the catch. Count goes even at 1s.
Campus is just extremely agile. He just jumped pretty much to the other side of the batter's boxes. There's yet another pickoff attempt. Once again, Leadham is back in time.
I think he's hungry for steal number 4.
I would be too. That's a lucky number there.
Yeah, the most in the game ever in MLB history by several players is 6.
Oh, I could do that. And
Well,
he's going. He's yeah.
Counts 1-1. Next pitch, and this is going to go into right field for a base hit. And Leadham's going to turn on the Jets, go to third. Here's a throw by King, caught off by Thompson. And it deflects off Bay's glove. And Schrader's going to advance a second with it, and he gets in safely. So bounces off Bay's glove. Schrader takes advantage to eliminate a force out at second. And with that, it's going to be Tyler Canoe.
And with that, Schrader is going to be 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Pretty good stat line for him. If he can score again, that would be an even better stat line for him, obviously. With
Indeed.
2 runs, 1 for 2 as well. But Canoe here is 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out to the shortstop Thompson as the first pitch is outside for ball 1.
I'm sure Canoe is looking for his second home run here at Dietrich this season. Again, his only one was here in their 7-0 shutout win over Jamestown. Smith getting the sign. Here's the next pitch. Outside, 2-0. Batavia looking to keep their streak of at least one run in an inning alive. 4 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. And they're looking to extend it even more. And so far in the 6 games they've played Jamestown, their run total now up to 49. As this is a wild pitch. And going in safely is going to be Leadham. Schrader heading to third, and the streak continues, making the score 8-2 in favor of the Batavia Muckdogs, as Canoe now has a chance to at least still get 1 RBI.
Canoe, like many others, especially at this stadium, with how long it is, crowds the plate quite a bit, daring the pitcher to pitch inside and giving him something to pull as he takes strike 1 to make it a 3-1 count.
Yep, like you've usually said, Max, 3-0 is usually the red light. I do know for certain that the 3-1's always the green light. Smith looking to at least get it to a full count. Here's the next pitch, and that's ball 4. Campus able to get back to the ball, and runners at the corners, 2 outs, and second time Canoe's been walked. So now it's going to be Dan Burroway, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
Campus is giving instructions to his team. He is the captain, the field general behind the dish. Getting ready for the next at-bat.
So Smith getting the sign. Here comes his next pitch, and fouled off over the top of the press box for strike 1. Oh, and if anyone was just hearing that, we do apologize. It was a little bit of fiasco with the field mic, but it's not harmed in any way. It's still in its great condition as the next pitch is fouled off on a check swing for strike 2, and I'm sure Burroway is wanting that one back. It hit off the top of the tip of the bat, the tip of the top of the bat. Cream of the crop, tip of the top. It's Mary Poppins, and there we stop. As Burroway looking to get home. Schrader, here's the pitch. Got him looking, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for either Smith or King, but a run does score for Batavia. Score still 8-2. Max, my friend, do your stuff.
Thank you very much, Norm. I'd like to remind you guys that support for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on WRFA Radio is brought to you in part by businesses and listeners like you. WRFA is a non-commercial, non-profit community radio station that relies on contributions and donations from the listening community to keep our programs on the air. If you appreciate and enjoy this broadcast or any other program available on WRFA, consider making a donation of any account by clicking the donate button at our website, WRFALP.com. It's fast and easy. Checks of any amount can also be made out to WRFA Radio and mailed to the radio station at 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701. Local businesses are also encouraged to sponsor programming on WRFA, and to learn more about becoming an underwriter for broadcasts of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, call 716-664-2465, extension 209, or email wrfa@reglinate.com. And for any of you listeners at home who don't know what the score is, it is 8-2 Batavia Muckdogs, and we are heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. And, yeah. Muckdogs have been, dare I say, hunting the Skunks here today.
Well, we also got some positional substitutions. One of the guys in is for Batavia. There were a couple of them. One of them I did see was number 31, Kenny Dodson Jr. And also in, it looks like 2 changes in the infield. One's Kenny Dodson Jr. He's from Airmont, New York. 5'10" righty batting and throwing from Canisius College. And another guy that is in now as well is number 7 for Batavia. I beg your pardon, that's been Caleb Rodriguez. So my apologies on that. So Torres is out at second, and it's Dodson that's in. So Leading off is going to be Bay and then Lane and Campus. Here's the next pitch by Tobia. Outside corner, strike one. First at bat, Bay flew out the right. Next pitch on the way. This is going to be a chopper down third, and it's a foul ball. Strike two.
Corso at third base is thankful that that ball just barely made its way foul. That would have been right on by him. He did field it, but it would have been a very tough throw to make. I don't think Manny Machado would have been able to make that throw. Cody Bay was flying down the line.
So counts 0-2, nobody out, and I would understand why he leads the team with 14 stolen bases. 0-2 pitch, and looking for another strikeout is Tobia. Swung on, that's going to go through into left for a base hit. Fourth hit of the game for Jamestown, and so far, with the exception of the second inning, 3 of the first 4, they were able to get the first guy on base. And with that, it's going to be Brandon Lane, who grounded out 6-3 in his first at-bat. That was to end the bottom of the first.
And we might see Cody Bay go for his 15th steal of the season. Lucky number 15.
Down 6 runs, you got to come up with something. As back in safely is Bay.
And the game is still young. We're only in the 4th inning. I'm a little too tired to do math, but 3 times 5 I think is 15. I think they still have 15 or so outs to work with.
As the next pitch was outside for a ball.
Be 18 outs to work with.
So 1-0 count as Lane looking to advance Bay in the scoring position at the minimum, but at the max to get a base hit. Here comes the next pitch by Tobia. Outside corner, strike one.
Brandon Lane, as we mentioned a bit, he normally fills in for the Tarp Skunks here, so he's probably taking all the way for a strike. So now that he's got a strike, he's ready to swing the bat.
Next pitch on the way outside. Nice catch by Aguila for a ball, making it 2-1. I wonder if Bay's just looking for that right moment to try and take off.
And I think this one might be it.
Tobia getting the sign, Bay extending his lead a hair. Here's the next pitch. Lane hits it. It's going to drop into right, and it hit the ground. And the base umpire concurs it, and the throw goes wide. Bay heading for third, and he's going to head home. Lane advances to second. Here's a throw to Aguila, not in time. Lane heading for third, and he's safe. Caught Aguila napping, trying to go for the ball, and just like that, making it 8-3. Heads up base running by both Bay and Lane. There's going to be a throwing error, I would presume, on Batavia. That one was way wide of the mark, and Stretch Armstrong couldn't have even caught that one. It was intended for Corso, and it was way wide of the mark.
And yes, and I believe that will be an E9 on Leadham. That throw was just very wide right, and me as a Bills fan, that just pains me to say it. And I know my dad is just, he's going to be really mad at me when I get home because I keep saying wide right. He was there when that happened.
It's part of the game.
Yeah.
And we can always say the Patriots fans 18-1. Next pitch, as it's Campus up the bat, it's fouled off for a strike.
And don't forget it 28-3 for those Falcons fans.
Well, that benefits New England, so.
Yeah, we don't really like New England, though.
And we're hearing some support. One of the voices I heard was clubhouse manager Scotty James.
Oh,
the man that keeps
guy.
the jerseys clean for the Skunks. Campus looking to cut this deficit down a little further. Here's the next pitch by Tobia. Fouled off, strike two.
Maybe I should hire Scotty James to keep my hoodie clean. It is white.
And before we see the next pitch, we've hit the top of the hour, Skunks fans. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York. As Campus in an 0-2 count looking to get home lane. There's nobody out. Campus is hungry for an RBI. Here's the pitch. He swings, and this one's going to center. This should be deep enough for Lane to tag up as it's caught by Leadham. Lane's going to tag up, and the deficit's going to be cut in half. So Captain Johnny, job well done. Manning the ship, cutting the deficit down to 4 runs, 2 in inning number 4. And with that, up the bat now is Julian Thompson.
And Johnny Campus, nothing you can really ask for much better than that. I mean, you could ask for a base hit, but all he was trying to do is put the ball into the outfield deep enough to score the run, whether it was on the ground so he could be on base or in the air for a sacrifice fly. Always admirable when that happens.
Next pitch hits the outside corner for strike one. Thompson struck out in his first at-bat. It was in the second inning where Campus, Thompson, and King all struck out in order. Tobia striking out the side. Here's his next pitch, and it's going to get chopped foul to the Skunk dugout for strike two.
And he, like Campus, is at risk of striking out again, but Campus did put the ball in play, however.
Thompson looking to get on base and keep this inning going. Next pitch is low for ball one, so good plate discipline there by Thompson not to give in and swing.
That definitely looked tempting to swing at. It just kind of tailed at the end, just dropped to the ground.
1-2 on the way, and swing and a miss, strike three. Again, even though he struck out on both at-bats, you got to admire the fact that guys like Thompson and Campus and Davis not scared to swing the bat.
That is completely true. And then you got guys like Nate Johnson, who almost seems a little too scared to swing the bat, but they always manage to work themselves on.
So Jordan King looking to keep this inning alive. 8-4 the score as he will step in for his next at-bat. And so far for Tobia, 4 strikeouts, 2 of them on Thompson. Here's the next pitch, swing and a miss, strike one.
And to quote one of the greatest movie franchises of all time, Star Wars, this is where the fun begins.
Forgive me, I was never a fan of it.
That's okay, I don't care.
Spaceballs was funny, though. The next pitch is outside corner, strike two.
Space Jam is nice.
Oh, the one with Michael Jordan, though, as Kings crowding the plate, the radar about to be jammed. Payoff pitch coming for Tobia, looking to get out with just minimal damage. That skips off the dirt, 1-2. So far, no bullpen activity going on Batavia's side. Couple pitchers limbering up a little on Jamestown's. Smith has worked 2 2/3 innings. Here's the next pitch. He went around. From my view, he clearly went around home plate on the check swing. So, like Thompson, 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. However, Jamestown does get a pair of runs, cutting their deficit to 8-4. And we'll be back through the 5th inning and plus some right here on WRFA.
Bring me one.
2 years. 2 years, Max.
Want what?
He's asking if you wanted a beer.
After the broadcast. And we're about to momentarily start the 5th inning here between your Jamestown Tarp Skunks and the Batavia Muckdogs. Jamestown got on a bit of a rally in the bottom of the 4th inning, scoring a pair of runs. Cody Bay and Brandon Lane hitting singles and scoring runs. And it was also aided by an E9 by Josh Leadham. So score 8-4. And Max, I think this is starting to get interesting here. But if Smith can start shutting down these Batavia batters, there's no reason why Jamestown cannot come back.
The Tarp Skunks have yet to put up an inning on defense without allowing a run. 4 in the first, 1 in the second and 4th, and then 2 runs in the 3rd. All of that obviously amounts to that 8 run, the 8 runs that Batavia has, and the 4-run cushion they have over the Tarp Skunks. So hopefully as Smith pitches the first one, it is a high fly ball out to center field. Martinez is under it and makes the easy catch for out number 1.
Yep, that was Kyle Corso. Now, and then it's going to be Aguila and Bacon. Those are the 3 due up. And Aguila, so far, he's walked, stolen a base, but in his last at-bat, in what was one of back-to-back pop-outs in the 3rd, he popped out to Bay, which would have been an infield fly roll regardless. Here's Smith's next pitch, and that one's upstairs, ball 1.
And I got to ask, Norm, why do you think he has the bat so high up when he is in the batter's box?
Maybe it helps him with the adjusting to the weight of the bat, as the next pitch was outside corner for strike 1.
Maybe it's just like an intimidation tactic, like, you know, when you go up against the grizzly bear, you're supposed to make yourself look as big as possible.
1-1 on the way. That got him. Got him in the back, and he'll happily take that free pass. And for the 5th, I beg your pardon, that ended a streak of 4 straight innings where the leadoff guy got on. That was the fly out by Corso, but Aguila is able to get on by the hit by the pitch. There's still a chance for Jamestown to get an unconventional 1-2-3 inning with a double play, but Jamestown has yet to get a defensive 1-2-3 inning. All the innings they have faced at least between 5 to 8 batters.
And that they did face 8 batters in the 1st inning and 7 from what it looks like in the 4th.
Here's the next pitch by Smith, and Bacon got a good piece of it, but it's going to go foul into the Skunks bullpen, and it's caught by one of the pitchers warming up. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it does not count for an out, and that was Ian Korn that caught that.
Welcome back from your injury, Ian Korn.
The almighty Cornholio needing a baseball. Here's the next pitch by Smith, and outside corner, strike 2.
Quickly battling back from hitting the previous batter. Now he's in an 0-2 count. Lots of ways he can go for it here.
He's looking for his 2nd strikeout. Here's the next pitch, off speed, but it's inside for a ball. He's still heading the count, though, 1-2.
He tried to just place that ball in the inside corner, trying to go from head to knee, trying to get a strike 3 looking. Didn't quite catch the zone, though.
Count 1-2. Aguila on first. Here's the next pitch by Smith. That's low, but Campus with a nice catch. Count goes 2-2. It is even, so Bacon fighting back, going from making it flimsy to nice and crisp the way it should be.
My friend's name, I mentioned in his first at-bat, his name is Chris Bacon. And I really wish his middle name was Peter, so we could call him Crispy Bacon.
Oh, and Bacon gets a good rip on this one to center field. Mishandled for a moment by Martinez. It dribbled off his chest, but he's able to recover. So 9th hit of the game already in just 4 1/3 innings for the Batavia Muckdogs, as, again, substituting in for Torres just a couple innings ago. He's up to bat now. It is Ken Dodson, number 31. And, Max, I know you've got the stat sheet regarding Batavia as well as Jamestown.
I do, and I was just taking a sip of water. It's getting a little hot up here in the press box, mainly because today, unlike many other days I'm here, it is not windy at all. But anyways, Dodson seems to have a 148 average through 27 at-bats. He has 4 hits and 4 runs respectively, and 2 of those hits were doubles.
Next pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. So Dodson, another one of those batters that does crowd the plate a little bit.
His foot seems to be on the line there.
Here's the 0-1, off speed, and it was way inside the Campus with a nice catch. Count goes even at 1s, and with the 1 out, we've got the triple sticks. 8 runs on 9 hits and just 1 error for Batavia so far. Next pitch was outside for a ball. Count goes 2-1.
and I was kind of scrunging around for the roster for the Batavia Muckdogs. To me, it looks like Dodson is a little short compared to other players, especially Campus, who he is standing around a lot as he fouls that ball off to make it even at 2-2. But the roster says he is 5'10". He doesn't really look 5'10" to me.
From up here, it looks like it could be 5'7".
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but you never know. Maybe Johnny Campus is just extraordinarily tall.
Well, counts 2-2. Here's Smith's next pitch, and fouled off into the Skunks dugout. One of the assistant coaches trying to field it, but Bill Buckner's on him going between his legs. Count still 2-2, 1 out. Aguila, the runner, on second. Bacon on first. And Dodson looking to turn it into a Bacon Club sandwich. Here's the pitch. And he gets a good hack on that one to left. That's a base hit. And heading home is going to be Aguila. Here's a throw to Campus, and he's safe. And the runners advance 90 feet. Fans don't like the call, but from my view, it was clear that Aguila got to the home plate before the tag was even close to being applied. It was the right call.
And to be fair, I don't even think he got the tag on him. The throw was a bit high, and that's no disrespect to Hardigan. That's a tough throw to make in any regards. He showed off his cannon. That ball had to be at least 80, 90 miles an hour out of his hand, but the throw was just a little bit too high. Johnny Campus showed off his vertical catching that ball.
So the run streak continues for Batavia as the next pitch was inside for a ball, and Benitez in his last at-bat, he did hit a single, but he was out trying to go to second. And there's also a shift here as well. The infield going near the grass. Here's the next pitch by Smith. There's a chance for Benitez to, instead of going for the power, put a little finesse into it and pop it into those open patches of grass in the outfield, because the center of it, because the outfield, they are playing fairly deep, have it drop into the ground, and just like sinking a battleship, as Benitez swings and misses on the 2-0 pitch for strike one.
Honestly, Norm, it's all about preference. Some people do try and just bloop it out there when the infield is playing in, but honestly, if you hit the ball hard, there's a 90% chance, even if it's right at one of the infielders, it's going by him as he swings and misses for strike two.
I think he wanted the 3-run tater.
Yeah, me too. He was going for it all.
So Benitez, the lefty, in a 2-2 count. Wanting to extend Batavia's lead. In the games this season for Batavia against Jamestown, there have been 2 games in which they scored double-digit runs. They were 12 in both of them. They have a chance to do it for the 3rd time in the 6th they faced Jamestown. Here's the 2-2. That's inside. Ball 3. Count goes full.
It might be smart to kind of just throw a non-competitive pitch here, see if you will offer at it and swing and miss. But if you walk him, you load the bases, put in a double play opportunity, and it would be easier to cut the run out at home, as it's almost exactly what he does. Ball 4 in the dirt for Benitez, and that will bring up Rodriguez, who is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt and a fly out to Yogi Hardigan, where he had to dive to make that play. That was a pretty impressive show of athleticism there by Yogi Hardigan.
So bases loaded, just 1 out, and fouled off Rodriguez for strike 1. From first to home, it's a force at all bases, so not a bad situation even though it's bases loaded.
And if you're just tuning in, it is 9-4 in the top of the 5th inning. Muckdogs are in the lead. Here's the 0-1. Just a little bit too high for ball 1.
1-1 count, 1 out, as Smith looking to get himself out of this jam. Batavia scored at least 1 run in every inning so far. Smith gets the sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's outside, 2-1, and Smith cannot afford to walk a batter with the bases loaded because it will force in a run.
And it will give Rodriguez an RBI, which would be his first, it would be his first of the game.
Next pitch is low and outside for ball 3, and after Rodriguez is at bat, we'll be back to the top of the order with Josh Leadham. Leadham has been on fire tonight. He has scored 2 runs, hit 2 singles, driven in an RBI, and he's stolen 3 bases. As 5 pitches, it's going to be a force-in run walk, as scoring the run is going to be Trey Bacon. So double figures in runs again for Batavia. Out of the 6 meetings versus these 2 teams, that's the 3rd time Batavia's broken double figures, as now it will be Josh Leadham, the right fielder.
And he is 2 for 3 on the night so far.
Smith's next pitch on the way, outside ball 1.
That pitch looked pretty good to me, and pretty good to most of the crowd to my left. And if you look, the third baseline bleachers is pretty much full, and the balcony overlooking the field is also seems to be a party spot to our left, including our executive producer Jason Sample and quite a few other people.
Well, the next pitch was low for ball 2. Count goes 2-0. Smith getting the sign. Here's the next pitch. Outside ball 3. So Smith in danger of issuing back-to-back bases loaded walks.
And now the pitcher in the bullpen is full-on warming up now.
It looks like it's Ian Korn. I did see number 29. Next pitch outside. 4-pitch walk. 8 of the last 9 pitches for Smith have been balls. Another one's going to score. That's going to be Dodson, who will tap on home plate. And now it's going to be Gavin Schrader. He has had a double in his last at-bat and was stranded at third. We're going to have looks like a conference on the mound, but this could also be a possible pitching change. And I do wonder if this is maybe a case of Smith getting tired or not being used to this high amount of work. But we'll just have to see what is the buzz.
Now, you did call it when he came in. You said he was going to probably make it to the top of the 5th inning. And while we're in the top of the 5th inning, he's starting to lose his control a little bit. Allowed 2 straight walks and subsequently allowed 2 straight runs on those walks. So maybe he's just going to get a little bit of a pep talk from pitching coach Powell, or maybe he'll get taken out. You never know.
Even so, Smith's walked 3 straight batters. I don't know about you, but right now, I'm like Marvin Gaye. I want to know what's going on.
Me too.
Scores 11-4 in favor of Batavia, and this game's starting to get out of hand here. As, again, Schrader, who doubled in his last at-bat, he's got the bases loaded with just 1 out, and if he can get one deep enough in the outfield, we may see a 10-run lead.
And, yes, we would if he can put one in the gap. Leadham's got burner wheels on first base. He can definitely take it around the base path from first base if you get a ball to the wall.
Next pitch on the way. It's going to go over to second. It hits off Tucker's glove. And 2 runners are going into home and will score. Benitez scores. And along with him scoring the run also is going to be Caleb Rodriguez. So 2 RBIs on that single there for Gavin Schrader, his 2nd hit of the game. Score 13-4. And now Tyler Canoe up to bat. And even though with runners at the corners, I'm sure he'll still take advantage of the possibility of driving in the runner on third.
He definitely will, whether it'll be with a single, a double, a sacrifice fly, or even a big fly. I'm sure he'd be itching for another one here.
Leadham was also able to advance to third. Next pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. And the way this is looking, I would not be surprised if this is Smith's last inning, should he complete it. And there's also activity going on in Batavia's bullpen right now. Looks like a number in the single digits. Oh, wild pitch, but Campbell able to recover. However, Schrader does head to second. That does eliminate the double play possibility. From my view of it, it looks like it's number 8, Tyler Prospero, warming up in the bullpen for the Muckdogs.
Don't you worry, Norm. I do have a pair of binoculars. I have no idea whose they are, I promise.
You know whose they are.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch on the way. That goes to the backstop. And heading home is going to be Leadham. And advancing to third is going to be Schrader. So make that 6 runs in the inning for Batavia, and with still 2 2/3 innings to go, now with it being 10 runs, the 7-inning mercy rule for right now is in effect.
It definitely is, and yes, it is in fact number 8 for the Muckdogs in the bullpen.
Yep, that's Tyler Prospero, and coincidentally, he's a Batavia native, as the next pitch was inside for ball 3, making the count 3-1. And should Cano get walked, we'll have Burway up the bat, and we'll have the entire batting order in this inning. Next pitch, ball 4. So that's going to be the 4th walk in the last 5 batters faced issued for Smith, and with that, it's going to be Dan Burway, the left fielder who has 2 singles.
And I believe that will be the last at-bat for Nathan Smith.
Yes, it will be, and it did look like it was Ian Korn warming up. He had been in the bullpen. He caught that ball that Bacon hit earlier in the inning. I wonder if it's going to be his first relief appearance of the year, though. Should it be him? Because usually he's a starter.
I can check for you right now. It will be. Ian Korn has 4.
Oh, wait a minute. Looks like I see Nate Johnson coming out. So, again, I saw Korn warming up in the bullpen, but Nate Johnson just walked into the pitching circle. So, it looks like he's going to get this relief going for Jamestown. And indeed, it's going to be Nate Johnson, a SUNY JCC student.
And one of my classmates at SUNY JCC. But anyways, I will not be talking about Ian Korn's stat line. I will be talking about Nate Johnson's. He has pitched in 4 games so far with 6 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits. He allowed 7 hits and 3 earned runs, but 9 total runs. He's walked 10 and struck out 3, and he has a 4.05 ERA. And Norm.
Oh, wait a minute. I beg your pardon. It's not going to be Nate Johnson. I'm sorry. This is going to be Mark Tucker pitching. Johnson was walking in. I do believe what's going to happen is Johnson will go to second, and Tucker's going to pitch. So we do apologize for the confusion. Just the way that Johnson was walking in, it looked like he was going to be the one pitching, but does Tucker have a stat line for pitching at all? Or?
No, he does not. This would be his first pitching appearance, but I would like to talk about Wednesday's game and a new name on the pitching list, and that is Will Durrell with 1 game and 1/3 of an inning with 1 strikeout and a 0.00 ERA.
Yep, and that was against Niagara earlier this week.
On Wednesday, and
the pitches he threw, though, I thought they were going to be like ephus pitches and garbages and meatballs and all that. Not kind of like the Gaylord Perry with the Vaseline ball, the KY jelly, the Crisco, the Bardol. No, but he was throwing smoke. Durrell looked real sharp on the rubber, but I'm curious how Mark Tucker's going to do.
Me too.
From seeing him warming up, he does not look bad.
Yeah, he used to pitch in high school, I believe. From what I've heard, I've talked to Powell. He said he wanted to see him around on the mound, but while we're waiting on the inning to get back into position, I follow the Tarp Skunks on Instagram. That's
so do
the
I.
word. And they asked questions like Q&As, and one of them was, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? What would yours be?
Personally, I would say the ability to fly.
That sounds cool, but I think I can beat you.
What, telekinesis?
Shape-shifting.
Okay, I know what you're referencing. Yeah. First pitch by Tucker's low for a ball.
Yeah, if you can shape-shift, think about it. You can fly. You can be really strong. And, you can do a lot of things if you can shape-shift, as that ball is grounded to Cody Bay onto second base, and the throw to first is not in time, as a run will score, but they will record an out, and Burway will be safe at first.
And with that though, Max, we've gone through the whole batting lineup, and this is the second time Corso's going to be up to bat. They've got a lucky number 7 on the board, 15 runs on only 10 hits. That is just mind-blowing. And wild pitch. And advancing to second base is going to be Burroway. I wonder if this is just a case of position player pitching, mop-up duty, or maybe just to rest up some of the bullpen pitchers, because with the slump they've been in sometimes, the relievers do get overworked. Tucker's next pitch, that was a beauty. Right in the outside corner for strike one. Count goes even at ones. And with number one pitching and 2 errors total, 1 each, let's have a quintuple sticks. Next pitch on the way, fouled off and hitting the gate near the bleachers for strike 2. So Tucker 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
Let me tell you a depressing stat that just happened.
Lay it on me.
As of last at bat, every single Muckdog has scored.
And this is a wild pitch again, and trotting to third is going to be Burroway. Again, that's just a case of him, possibly him walking with Tony Dow, cueing the theme of Leave It to Beaver, heading to third. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, yeah. Hate it when that happens.
So with a base hit by Corso, we could see a quadruple up for Batavia, making it 16-4 as the count goes full. Should he get walked, next up would be Aguila, who was hit by a pitch and scored one of the 7 runs in this inning. This game getting out of hand. This one is popped into the shallow outfield and left. Martinez under it. He does make the catch, and this top half of the 5th finally comes to an end. It was almost like Bill Murray on Groundhog Day. Same stuff going on over and over and over again. 15-4 to score in favor of Batavia. Max, my friend, do your stuff.
Hey, thank you very much. I'd like to remind you guys that support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks in 2022 is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, celebrating over 50 years of serving the community's automotive needs with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. At Schultz Auto Group, all repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for every automotive need, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. The next generation of auto care is already at Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of the Jamestown Tarp Skunk Community Baseball on your community radio station, WRFA-LP. For more information, call 1-866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com. And Norm, I gotta ask, now that we see Mark Tucker pitch, who else on the Jamestown Tarp Skunks fielding roster would you want to see pitch?
Johnny Campus.
Oh,
Johnny
yeah.
Campus. I want to see how Campus would pitch. Would he throw 90-mile-an-hour fastballs like Drew Butera does when he would go in as a position player? Or would it be like Jose Canseco throwing those high lollipops, those off-speeders? But hopefully for Campus, he wouldn't injure his shoulder, because that did happen to Canseco when he pitched in a garbage game where when he was with the Texas Rangers, they were getting walloped by the Red Sox. But his claim to fame, though, as a Ranger, he was trying to field a ball that was deep into center field, or wherever he was in the outfield. Carlos Martinez of the Indians was the batter. The ball hit Canseco on the head, and it went out of the park, and it was ruled a home run.
Oh, yeah, that would be a home run, unfortunately for him. But that had to hurt mentally more than physically, to be honest.
I'd rather have that happen to me than like Mookie Betts making the catch, falling over the field and losing the ball. But it's going to be Jack Davis up the bat. He does have a single, and I do know you like his walk-up song. And
I do.
Matthew Lillard on She's All That was a big fan of it too. Even though Rick James is most known for Super Freak. But it's going to be another inning of work here for Tobia as Davis pops it up over the top of the press box for strike 1. 4 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for Jamestown, and for Batavia, 15 runs on just 10 hits.
And they're only 9 or 11 runs away from tying this up. I think it's possible as he fouls off yet another one.
Able to leave tall press boxes in a single bound, not Clark Kent.
It is only the bottom of the 5th inning here with no outs, so they can put up their own 7th spot on the scoreboard as he takes one high and away for ball 1.
And it looks like Tucker will still bat, so I wonder what's going to happen. Should he not work another inning, get put back at second, or is his night done, but the next pitch is outside for a ball, evens the count at 2s?
The
I am curious.
The MLB put in a rule so that if you were to take out a pitcher, you could fabricate a DH spot as that ball is
Hitting the press box.
barely out of play.
It's the top of the press box. He was a count at twos, and that one was going way up. I don't even think you would have been able to bungee jump and get that thing.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Or get springs.
Get rocket boots.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Tobia. Outside corner, called strike 3, caught looking. And for Joe Tobia, that's going to be his 6th strikeout of the game. And now it's going to be Mark Tucker, the pitcher now.
Something. I don't know. DH, EH, something along. I don't know.
Hey, there's teams that do use pitchers as DHs if they can hit the ball very well. Next pitch comes in, and that is high for ball 1. So far today, though, Tucker, his only at-bat, he got walked.
And then he later got stranded at third base.
1-0 pitch, and that one's inside, ball 2.
Showing some signs of fatigue, Tobia is. 2 straight balls.
To be eligible for the win, though, he has to complete this inning. Next pitch is called outside for ball 3. I almost thought that was going to be called a strike for a moment. So 3-0 count. And here comes the next pitch. That's right down the pipe for strike 1.
Tucker definitely taking all the way there. If he was given the green light there, he probably would have swung and probably sent that a mile.
Next pitch on the way. That's also at the heart. Strike 2. Count goes full.
Mark Tucker, however, thought that was a little bit low and tossed his bat, or almost tossed his bat towards the dugout, strutting on over to first.
And here comes a full count, our first timeout called. Full count, 1 out. Here comes Tobia's payoff pitch. This one's fouled off, going over the top of the press box. Count stays full.
Way to battle here for Mark Tucker. Way to stay in there for Joe Tobia.
So count still full, 1 out. Here's the next pitch. And that one called inside, ball 4. So 2 at-bats, 2 walks for Tucker. And we're back to the top of the order with Henry Martinez.
I'm not quite sure where that last pitch missed. It might have been a little bit inside, but it looked pretty good to me. But I'm sure Mark Tucker will be happy standing over there on first base.
Looks like Henry Martinez changed his walk-up too, because it's not right down the line anymore. I was hearing Red Red Wine by UB40. Tucker's got a good lead off of first. Here comes the next pitch by Tobia. Inside, ball 1. Again, Jamestown, they got to get at least 2 runs in this inning to cut it back down to single digits because, again, 10-run rules in effect after 7. But if Batavia were to score a run in the 6th inning, the 12-run rules after 6. Next pitch on the way. This one is hit the left, Burroway under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2.
When you're down by this amount, 11 runs with 5 innings to play, it's always so sad as we hear Stacy's mom playing again. But you got to remember that these at bats still count.
They do.
Towards your batting average, towards your stats. You might even see Mark Tucker try to pad his stealing stats by going on the move here with 2 down.
Down by 11, it's worth a shot. Here's the next pitch. Hardigan hits it, and it's going to, not quite fielded there by Rodriguez. It'll be a base hit, and I was going to tell you, the first time I ever heard that song, Stacy's Mom, I heard it in a Dr. Pepper commercial back in 2005, 2006. It was obviously Stacy, and then her mom was walking with a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper, and the kids were looking on in excitement.
Yeah, she does got it going on.
Dr. Pepper's always good, as Bigham is getting ready for his next at-bat. He is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice, but he does have an RBI. Runners on first and second. Tucker on second. Hardigan on first. 2 outs. Hardigan with his second hit of the game just recently is the next pitch at the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, Bigham grounded out up the middle. It tipped off of Toby's glove and, well, into the glove of Alex Torres, the second baseman.
Indeed. Next pitch on the way by Tobia. That one is low. Ball 1. Count goes even.
And it looks to me that Bigham is a little bit frustrated. And it seems like he's frustrated with the umpire, but, you know, he called a ball on that one, so I'm not too sure why he would be.
1-1 beats 0-2. Next pitch on the way. That one's low and outside. Ball 2. Count goes 2-1. Bigham looking for his first hit of the game. Again, one of the newest members of the Skunks coming from Fredonia State, and he's done very well so far as the next pitch by Tobia is on the way. And he takes a hack. It goes over to short. Rodriguez will just underhand it over to Dodson for a 6-4 force out, and that concludes 5 innings of action here. Jamestown, though, they're on the verge of prematurely running out of chances. They're down by 11 runs, 15-4. However, stick around for the 6th inning right here on WRFA. And we're about to start what could possibly be the last inning here, the top of the 6th between Batavia and Jamestown right here on WRFA. Jamestown behind 15-4, and again, after 6 innings, should Batavia put on at least 1 run, and I do believe Jamestown, though, would get a chance in the bottom of the 6th, and if that's the case, should they fail to score a run, and Batavia get at least 1 by rule, with it being 12 runs after 6 innings, game's done.
Yes, in fact, the Tarp Skunks would have a chance to make their rebuttal in the bottom of the 6th, but I don't know, maybe.
So with the overloaded scorecard from the 5th inning, it's going to be Aguila leading off, then Bacon and Dodson. Next pitch is inside for a ball. Almost got Aguila on the leg. His last at-bat, he was hit by a pitch.
I have to say that Mark Tucker is showing up today on the mound, and he induces a foul ground ball down the third baseline line for a 1-1 count.
I would love to see him get a strikeout.
Like Will Durrell did in his 1 at-bat.
Next pitch is fouled off, going to the bleachers for strike 2. Count goes 1-2.
Maybe you'll see it. You know who I want to see pitch? Kane McGee.
That would be interesting. Next pitch on the way, it's going to be a chopper to Johnson. Fielded cleanly. Throw to Bigham in time. 4-3 ground out. And now it's going to be Trey Bacon, the extra hitter.
I feel like Kane McGee could just throw, like, I feel like he would have a cannon of an arm.
I remember watching a game near the end of his career when he was with the White Sox. Adam Dunn threw an inning of work and looked pretty strong. They were losing a game against Oakland 15-0 as swinging and missing is Trey Bacon for strike one.
At that point, you might as well just be like, hey, who wants to try to be on the mound?
Next pitch is foul, going out of play into the bleachers.
And that's a souvenir for some lucky fan.
Indeed. Count 0-2. I'm sure Tucker's hungry for a strikeout.
I haven't seen a curveball from him yet. He might throw one here.
This one is hit into the shallow outfield. We got a Bermuda triangle. Johnson under it, but King makes the catch. 2 hats down in the process. So 2 down, and with Tucker's got a chance for the first 1, 2, 3 inning of the game defensively for Jamestown, as it's going to be Ken Dotson, who's in second base. He came in as a defensive substitution in the 4th inning.
Maybe Tucker will be a part of the starting rotation for the Tarp Skunks after this game.
Here comes his next pitch on the way, and this is going to be a chopper, and it's going to get fielded by Thompson. Here's a throw to first. We got a 1, 2, 3 inning. Jamestown does it for the first time tonight with Mark Tucker on the rubber. Score still 15-4. And Max, I'm going to shift it over to you once again.
Thank you very much. I'd like to remind you guys that support of WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball for the 2022 season is brought to you in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses while also promoting the retention and expansion of existing businesses. And it offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low-interest loans, and bond financing, all of which enhances the opportunity for job creation and retention by our businesses. The Chautauqua County IDA is a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900 or visit ccida.com. And
it's been a call to the bullpen. It's a new pitcher on the mound, and it's going to be number 0, Dylan Kinney. He's actually the brother of number 77, Ryan Kinney, and he goes to the same college, Xavier University of Louisiana.
All right, and it looks like he has pitched in 6 games so far, with about a half inning each on average, as he has only pitched 3 total innings, allowing 6 hits and 7 runs and 7 walks and striking out 2, but he does have a win and an 8.38 ERA.
And with that, it's going to be Bay, Lane, and Campus leading it off to start the bottom of the 6th. And with it being still 11 runs, this could possibly be the penultimate inning should Jamestown not produce any runs. And speaking of that, the 0 in the 6th inning for Batavia, that's the first time in this game they failed to score at least 1 run at any inning at any point. First pitch of the evening for Kinney goes low for ball 1.
And I apologize, my dad, who, if he is listening to the broadcast right now, is probably halfway through a text right now. It is not an 8.38 ERA. It is a 21 ERA, as this pitch is inside, almost hitting the knees for ball 1. Or ball 2.
Count 2-0. Bay, who singled and scored a run in the 4th inning in his last at-bat. Next pitch on the way by Kinney, and that one is low and inside for ball 3.
Not a good way to start an outing here with 3 straight balls. There is another left-handed pitcher in the bullpen as Cody
4-pitch
Bay
walk.
Gets walked on 4 pitches as that ball was in the dirt. And that brings up Brandon Lane.
No, I beg, it's going to be Nate Johnson coming up to bat.
Oh, never mind. It will be Nate Johnson.
So that's going to be the end of the night for Brandon Lane. So Nate Johnson batting in his spot. Cody Bay getting walked on 4 pitches to start off the inning. And could this be the start of a possible rally? But Johnson, though, he's known to let a lot of pitches pass him by. That one hits the outside corner.
Including that one, which is strike 1 on the outside corner, as you said.
Nobody out, Bay on first. Next pitch on the way, and that one's low for ball 1. 4 runs on 6 hits and just 1 error for Jamestown. Meanwhile, Batavia's got 15 runs on just 10 hits and also 1 error. Here comes the next pitch by Kinney, and this one he got a good lick of, but it's going to go foul into the Skunk bullpen for strike 2. Count goes 1-2.
And Johnson just trying to get ready, trying to cool off the nerves. This is his first at-bat of the game.
1-2 count. Next pitch on the way. That's fouled off. Count stays 1-2.
That swing, he looked like he was swinging a cricket bat, just trying to defend the wickets. Almost looked like self-preservation there. The ball was on his way to actually hit him.
Well, count's still 1-2. Johnson will get to see another pitch. On the way, and this one's foul, going over the top of the press box. Count still 1-2. Again, Jamestown, they got to get something going offensively. Down by 11 runs, 15-4. And they've been in a bad slump. In their last 7 games, they've lost 5 of them. And 4 of their last 5 as well. Bay goes. Here's the throw to second, but it's not in time. Bay's jump was spot on. 15th steal of the year for him. Pitch was a ball. Counts even at 2s.
And it looked like the pitch was going to hit Johnson, but he had to duck out of the way. Showing his agility as well as Johnny Campus, who, in fact, is on deck right now.
2-2 pitch. This one's going to get hit to center. It's not going to be deep enough to tag up Bay. Gets caught by Schrader for the first out, and it's going to be Johnny Campus, who has struck out and has also flown to right, but he did drive in an RBI.
And he is 0 for 1 with that strikeout, so good on him with the sacrifice fly. You know what I think Johnny Campus should have his walk-up song as?
What?
Shipping Up to Boston.
Oh, that's a great song. Every time I hear that, it makes me want to watch the Martin Scorsese film The Departed. Such a great song. Next pitch on the way. It's popped up. Fielding it, though, is Kinney, and that's going to be a pop out to the pitcher. Alliteration lesson today, kids.
You already said it earlier, but I feel like I have to say it again.
Do it.
That one didn't have the distance.
Ball in blue sky. Beautiful, like lonely snowflake. As Julian Thompson is up to bat. Thompson, he has struck out in both at-bats. I'm sure he doesn't want that hat trick unless he had a hockey stick in his hand.
Or a soccer ball at his feet as he fouls the ball off to make it an 0-1 count.
Speaking of that, though, like when I would broadcast lacrosse for some high school stuff, with it being similar to hockey, the way I would treat it, a hat trick in lacrosse is actually called a pig trick. I found that pretty interesting.
You know, if you score 2 goals in hockey, it's called a rat trick.
I think I've heard of that. As Thompson hits this one foul, it's going to go to the bleachers, and another Skunk fan getting a great souvenir. So count 0-2.
The reason that they were called rat tricks is because when people would score 2 runs, or 2, I'm thinking baseball right now, when people would score 2 goals, the opposing team would throw rats at him because they don't like him.
Well, here's the 0-2, and that's going to get hit foul. Screaming foul ball hitting under the tarp, also known as tarpling. The count stays 0-2. So Kinney has a shot for a shutout inning.
And a shot for Thompson to get that hat trick.
Again, there is action going on in the bullpen for the Muckdogs. Taking a check on Bay at second. Here's the 0-2. That's outside. Ball 1. Kinney still heading the count, though, 1-2.
And it looks like he's trying to take as much time as he can on the mound. He's just trying to, seems like he's trying to get in Thompson's head.
First off, as Bay runs, that's swing and a miss, strike 3. The pitcher that looked like was warming up for Batavia was A.J. Winger, number 28, but strikeout there by Kinney to end the inning. 15-4 the score. Stick around for the 7th and possible last inning in this matchup right here on WRFA. And we're about to start the top of the 7th inning, and it's going to be Mark Tucker getting another inning of work for Jamestown. And so far, by a long shot, he's been the best pitcher we've seen in this matchup for Jamestown.
I am pleasantly surprised to see how well he is performing, especially saying that this is his first pitching appearance, at least this year at this level.
It's his first one ever here at Dietrich for sure. Road, I wouldn't know because, again, we only do the home games as Tucker's next pitch is low for ball 1. It is Benitez, Rodriguez, and Leadham due up for Jamestown, and they do need to hold Batavia without a run for the next inning because Jamestown's got to get at least 2 as this one is hit the left. Hardigan misjudged the timing of the ball but was able to recover and makes the catch for the first out. So, with that, Tucker's retired the last 5 batters that he's faced.
And that's pretty good. I mean, that's just something that you can just say. That's pretty good. And I'm pretty sure he hasn't pitched on the road because we would have a stat line for that.
Yeah, we would.
So, I don't know.
Next pitch is low for a ball. The thing I want from Tucker, though, is a strikeout. That would be nice.
Definitely.
Only batter Darrell faced, he got a strikeout as the next pitch is on the way. Fouled off for a strike, making it 1-1. $15 runs on just 10 hits, 1 error for Batavia. 4-6-1 for Jamestown as this one's grounded to third, and it goes foul. Very fortunate that was called foul because Bay was playing dangerously trying to even field that ball.
And the umpire, the home plate umpire, wasn't calling foul for a little bit. And from up here, it looked pretty obvious that it was at least on the left-hand side of the third baseline. But I was a little scared that he wasn't calling it, as the 1-2 is low for ball 2.
He had it in the right spot, but it just didn't get there good enough. But it's an even count, 2-2. Tucker, I'm sure he's wanting that strikeout. Oh, that's inside and low, ball 3. Rodriguez was walked in his last at-bat in the 7-run 5th inning, and he also scored one of the runs. Here's the payoff by Tucker, and that's high and outside, ball 4. So Rodriguez gets walked for the second time and the second in a row. And we're back to the top of the order with Josh Leadham. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles, 3 steals, and RBI, and he's also walked 1 time. So a little bit of Morse code there in the numbers, a little 2-1-3-1.
And if Tucker wants to go for another 1-2-3 inning, as that pitch was inside for ball 1, it would really have to be tailor-made because, as we've mentioned many times on this broadcast, Leadham is a speed demon, and it would be very tough to get a double play as that ball was high and inside. Probably a little scary if you were Leadham.
6 of the last 7 pitches for Tucker have not been in the zone. 2-0 count, 1 out, next pitch on the way, and this one is smacked to left. Hardigan chasing it down, and it hits off the wall. Hardigan gets there. Runner going to third, and safely into second is Leadham. And that's his third hit of the game. That is a double. And from what I'm seeing here, that is the third extra base hit of the game for Batavia.
To be honest, Norm, I thought that was gone. It hit off the white Merrill sign in left field. And, well, baseballs are white. We know that. But I didn't see it come down. So I was about ready to say, holy cow, he did it.
Here's the next pitch, and it's fouled off for a strike. It's Gavin Schrader up the bat. And or in the words of Phil Rizzuto, holy cow, Monty, what a great day for a game.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a Yankee thing, so be happy.
Yeah,
2 for 4 is Schrader. Schrader up the bat as the next pitch was ruled a ball for ball one. It was inside, so counts even at 1's 1 out. Runners in scoring position. Here's the next pitch by Tucker. Fouled off. Count goes 1-2. Tucker again 1 strike away from getting his first strikeout as a skunk this year. I want him to get it. I really do. I think that'd be the highlight of the night for Jamestown.
It would be a highlight in a night of lowlights.
Here comes the 1-2 by Tucker. Oh, that one's outside, 2-2. Schrader has been walked. That was back in the first inning, and he does have 2 RBIs. That was off his single in the 7-run 5th inning. Next pitch by Tucker. That one's going to get hit the left, but it's going to go foul into the Skunks bullpen. Count stays even at 2s.
And that ball just was slicing, and it, unfortunately for Schrader, it just sliced a little bit too much into foul territory.
Count even at 2s, 1 out. Next pitch on the way by Tucker. That's fouled off again off the netting of the grandstands. Count stays even at 2s.
And we see our executive producer, Jason Sample, doing the same move as I am, throwing on a hoodie.
I don't need one.
And he's throwing on shades, too. I got to get into that
2-2,
action.
and that's low, ball 3. I got shades as well, so I do get the pass on that. So counts full, 1 out. Runners on second and third. Here comes the payoff pitch by Tucker. That's fouled off again, going over the top of the bleachers into the concourse. So Schrader making Tucker work here. Score 15-4. Only a dozen hits needed by Batavia to get the 15 because there's also been a boatload of walks. Almost as many walks as the animals in Noah's Ark. Full count pitch. That's high. Ball 4. Bases loaded. 1 out. And with that, it's going to be Tyler Canoe, the first baseman. Again, he has homered here in Dietrich, and if he can hit a salami, we're going to see 19 runs by them.
And you know what, Norm? 19 is almost 20.
Yes, it is. Jamestown did put up a 20 spot, but that was against Niagara last week.
And I believe I do remember that. I do remember that. It was away, but...
Next pitch by Tucker hits the heart of the plate for strike 1.
And if Mark Tucker is going to strike anyone out, this would be the guy to do it because this is the most dangerous player on the lineup as he takes strike 2 down the heart of the plate. And, well...
He's 1 strike away again.
1 strike away, as it seems like he has been every single at-bat for the last 3 batters.
Here's the pitch, and that's going to go foul, and it's going to go out of play into the Muckdog bullpen.
Well, you know what, Norm? He's still 1 strike away.
And he doesn't have any balls in this count.
Oh, no.
Canoe wanting to exchange it to a gondola or even a yacht.
I like submarines, Norm.
You know what? We could all live in a yellow submarine, just like Ringo Starr on the album Revolver. We all live in a yellow submarine.
Yeah, but my favorite color is blue.
Here's the 0-2 pitch again, and that's going to go. That's fair. Johnson fields it, throws the first in time. A run does score. So an RBI driven in for Canoe, scores 16-4. As now it's going to be Dan Burroway, the left fielder.
Oftentimes when a batter corkscrews a ball, it goes foul towards one of the bullpens because that's just how the physics works. But somehow Canoe swung so early as that pitch was high for ball one. He swung so early that the ball just made its way towards Nate Johnson at second base.
Next pitch by Tucker, and that's low, ball 2. 2-0 count, score 16-4, and with the 16 runs now, Batavia's totaled 58 runs on offense in the 6 games versus Jamestown, and they have surrendered only 18. So the average margin of victory is almost 7 runs. Counts 3-0. Here's Tucker's next pitch. Inside, ball 4, and that's going to be his 3rd walk of the inning. And now it's going to be Kyle Corso, the 3rd baseman, due up. As we have the bases loaded again with 2 outs. It's going to be Burraway on first, Schrader on second, Leadham on third. And there's no activity going on in the bullpen, so I think this may just be Tucker for a little while longer.
And it quite be possible. It quite might be possible that Mark Tucker likes to pitch in high-pressure situations, as a lot of his outs have been with the bases loaded.
Well, the first pitch was low for a ball. 1-0 count, 2 outs. This one is hit to shallow right. King under it, and he does make the catch, so only 1 run allowed by Tucker, but the score 16-4. And this is the last chance here for, or no, I beg your pardon, with it being 12 runs, because Batavia did add another run in the top of the 7th by rule, because it's a 12-run rule after 6, but the 10's till after 7. This game's over. 16-4 the final score. Batavia, again, just absolutely owning Jamestown.
They get last ups, Norm.
Oh, I beg your pardon. So it looks like it's going to be the 7th inning stretch. So I had it misconstrued between the 6th and 7th inning, but Max, do your thing.
All right. All right, guys. Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's American Rescue Plan Stabilization Grant. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting is a private, nonprofit corporation created by Congress in the Public Broadcasting Act of 1967. It is the steward of the federal government's investment in public broadcasting and the largest single source of funding for public radio, television, and related online and mobile services. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting works to ensure universal access to non-commercial, high-quality content and telecommunication services. It does so by distributing more than 70% of its funding to more than 1,500 locally owned public radio and television stations. For more information, visit cpb.org. And yes, Norm, the Tarp Skunks are the home team. They bat in the bottom of the inning, and
we got another pitcher.
We do have another pitcher, number 13.
That's Anthony Sullivan.
Anthony Sullivan
from Huntersville, North Carolina. He's a 6 foot southpaw from Roanoke College, and he's a junior.
There we go. He has pitched in 6 games so far on the season with 7 innings pitched. He has allowed 13 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them being earned, and he's walked 6 batters as well and struck out 9 with a 5.4 ERA. And Norm, speaking of shipping up to Boston.
Oh, man, this song gets so old after a while sometimes. Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. The only thing I'll say as a joke sometimes is I wouldn't mind hearing something else by him. I don't care if it's Cracklin' Rosie, Holly Holy, America.
Yeah.
He's got other good ones. But, again, it's Anthony Sullivan, and it's pretty sweet. He's got the same name as the guy who took over for OxyClean. Anthony Sullivan here with a new OxyClean product. But the batters that Sullivan will be facing, it's going to be the bottom 3. It'll be King, Davis, and Tucker. And this is it. Last chance for Jamestown. If they fail to get at least 3 runs, this game's over by rule.
And Sullivan will be trying to clean up the game. It wouldn't be a save because of the
high deficit.
The margin that the Muckdogs are ahead of the Tarp Skunks, which, by the way, is 16-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. We just heard Scotty James, team manager,
indeed,
sing take me out to the ball game as
It's become a Skunks tradition this year.
Yeah.
That didn't happen at all last year. Usually it was the in-between game man, Matt Warren, would walk around any parts of the bleachers with grandstands and move the mic to the people's faces and have them sing along.
You know, when I was here a couple times, I always sang my heart out, and he always came to me.
But King looking to get a rally started to at least extend this game. Again, score 16-4, 16 runs on 12 hits for Batavia, 4 and 6 for Jamestown as next pitch at the inside corner for strike one. It's almost sound like we're saying Chicago every time because instead of 25 or 6-4, we're saying 16-4 a lot as the next pitch is outside and off the glove of Aguila for ball one, excuse me. Oh, wait a minute. From taking a look at it, it's going to be a positional change, and it's going to be new at catcher. It's number 14, Vinny Grazia playing. So he's behind the dish right now for the Batavia Muckdogs. Not sure if he has a stat line batting-wise, but he is a native of Batavia. He's a 5'8 righty, goes to Erie Community College. As the 1-2 pitch comes in by Sullivan, and it's going to be a chopper over to Dotson. He fields it cleanly, throws over to first to Canoe in time. So now up is Jack Davis.
And they are running out of chances here. They have to score at least 3 runs to be able to play on, but they only have 2 outs to do so.
So 1 out. Davis, he's 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. Here's the next pitch by Sullivan, and it's outside corner, strike 1. And he's not a submarine pitcher, but he's definitely got the sidearm to it. Sidearm thrower. Next pitch is on the way, and that's outside for a ball. Kind of looks a little similar to Madison Bumgarner's motion when he arches the arm on the side before he throws his pitch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He definitely has a 10 o'clock arm slot, which is something that not a lot of hitters, especially at this level, can battle with as he swings and misses for strike 2.
So 1-2 count, 1 out. Next pitch by Sullivan, swing and a miss, strike 3. So last gasp for Jamestown, it's going to be Mark Tucker. And so far, Tucker has been the best pitcher tonight for Jamestown. Even though, in all fairness, Smith did look solid, but I do believe he ran out of gas near the end of his appearance.
And that's when he did allow the 7 runs, and it was his last inning of work.
Next pitch by Sullivan is outside for a ball.
And speaking of his sidearm arm slots, and I said not many people can deal with it. My dad, when we played at Wii Sports, he always hated the sidearm pitchers.
As the next pitch hit the outside corner to even the count at once.
You ever play Wii Sports, Norm?
Long time ago,
Oh, yeah.
when I was in high school.
So fun.
Well, here's the 1-1 on the way. That's low and outside. Count goes 2-1.
Sullivan was definitely eyeing for that ball to be called a strike. He definitely wanted that to be strike 2.
2-1 pitch by Sullivan. Tucker fouls it off. Count goes even at 2s. We got the triple deuces on the board, and this is it. 1 strike away. If Tucker gets out, we're going to see another game come down to a short ending here in Jamestown. We've seen it 4 times. This would be number 5, should it be the case. Here's the 2-2. This one's going to get hit into the gap in right center for a base hit. So Tucker able to keep the inning alive. He does get a single, and with his 2 walks, put him at a 1-for-1 mark, as now it's going to be back to the top of the lineup with Henry Martinez.
Henry Martinez, he has flown out to 2 different outfielders, one in the 3rd and one in the 5th, but he did get a single to start off the Tarp Skunks' night, leading off the 1st inning.
So Martinez, the southpaw, looking to keep it going. Tucker's got a good lead off of first. Sullivan's next pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1.
I don't know if this is Sullivan's normal pitching motion from the stretch, but it seems like he's breaking out the slide step to cut down stealing opportunities, and he did, as that ball was ripped down the first base line and foul. But for some reason, he seemed worried about the steal from Mark Tucker at first base, that he tried to cut down his pitching movement and made it as fast as possible.
Well, he's got a 12-run lead. He shouldn't worry about a steal, but he's ahead in the count 0-2. Here comes the pitch. That's in the dirt, 1-2 count. So Martinez will get to see another pitch in what could be the last at-bat of the ball game. Again, when it comes to the 10 to 12-run rule, the home team does get the last ups, and if they fail to get at least the amount of runs to get it down from double digits to at least 9, game's over early. Next pitch is just a touch high. Count goes even at 2s.
And I saw Sullivan just celebrating before he called that a ball. I think he thought it was a strike.
Even so, the count's even at 2s, 2 outs. Next pitch on the way. It's going to be a grounder going foul. Very fortunate that it stayed there, because if it had stayed fair, Canoe could have easily touched the bag.
And that would have ended the game. Ground out to the first baseman is never fun to end the game on.
Martinez, again, looking to keep this game alive. Here's the next pitch by Sullivan. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Grazia playing dropped the ball, but he's going to throw it over to first in time. And for the second time in their last 3 home games, the Skunks are the victim of a mercy rule. This time 16-4 in 7 innings, and it looks like the plane is starting to take a complete tailspin into a nosedive. It is starting to get out of hand.
And yeah, it just losing so many in such a short amount of time. They are 4-6 in their last 10. At least that's what it was coming in. It might even be 3-7 now.
Well, with that loss counting, it's going to be their 5th loss in their last 6 games, and 3 of them have been by mercy rules. 1 was on the road, 2 were at home. And again, Jamestown, they need to wake up if they want to get into the postseason, because that loss is, they are now in trouble. They're going to fall back down to the 4th spot, I do believe. Again, though, first 4 spots do get in the postseason, but they need to start getting on a bit of a winning streak. But, Max, if we had to pick a player of the game in spite of this being a 12-run loss, for me it's obvious. I got to say Mark Tucker, never pitching for Jamestown this year. He comes in, and in general, I thought he looked decent.
He did look pretty good. I mean, especially for someone who isn't a pitcher. He's a middle infielder. He does that very well. I just accidentally nudged executive producer Jason Sample. Sorry about that, sir. But he showed up on the mound. But if we had to look at a position player who, didn't actually go on the mound, I would have to say probably Cody Bay. He was 1 for 2 and he stole a base, but that's probably one of the better things we've seen out of him. Other than that, Brandon Lane made his way to 3rd on a single, so
yep.
I don't know.
And with that, though, Jamestown this weekend, they will have games both days. They're on the road tomorrow. They're taking on the Utica Blue Sox, and after that, it's going to be back here on Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m., and that's going to be, once again, against these Batavia Muckdogs. So far, Batavia is 6-0 on the season versus Jamestown. They've outscored them throughout the season 58-18, a run margin of almost 7 runs a game. But with that, Skunks fans, that's going to do it for tonight's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA. Once more, the final score in 7 innings via the 12-run rule. Jamestown falls to Batavia 16-4. Thank you to our studio engineer, Gavin Peternity, as also to our WRFA interim team, Jess Beeler, who had that awesome interview with Coach Bazil, and Max Pinjator. For my broadcast partner, Max Pinjator, along with executive producer Jason Sample, I'm Norm Rodriguez saying thank you for listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball on WRFA. Until next time.